What is going on, you beautiful bunch of savages? Primetime 100 is around the corner next Saturday, 8:30 p.m. GMT, 2:30 Eastern. With me for this press conference, Mr. Humbleding, goddamn Doctor Who. We have about 17 or so of the competitors ahead of Primetime 100 with us in this chat here this evening. All going to be talking a little bit of shit, guys. We're all going to be hopefully hyping us up a little bit and getting a bit of an insight into the matches to come there.
100%. Primetime 100 press conference, Doctor. I cannot wait. These guys have been going at it in the chat. We've got people on the prelims going at people on the main card that's going throughout, and they're going to get a chance today to talk to each other, Doctor, which can go one of two ways, but we're trusting them, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I do have hope that we managed to keep it within the code of conduct. 100 cards just of doing these live cards. Of course, we've done fight nights, we've done fight clubs, we've done a couple other bits and pieces around the place. That's well over 100, but this is our 100th live event, and this is a press conference to showcase that. With people in the back who've heard us like try and get this all set up, make sure everything's going smoothly. Hopefully, this is going to stay stable. Hopefully, it all goes well, and this is a moment in history in the making.
Yeah, honestly.
Welcome to
all the guys that have been with us for the last half an hour or so. We've got stuff set up the back. You wonder why we get a little delayed from time to time. That is the reason why that. So a couple of guys getting a bit of a sneak peek into the backgrounds going on, but we did get you a little bit new. Honestly, as we look forward to the entire card, though, lads, I'll just try to switch it across. We've got one of the biggest cards to date, Doc. You know, quite honestly, it's on another level. I think it's like 20 odd fights if you're going to get it up.
25
fights.
Yeah.
We will skip across to it just now, actually, why not, while we're here. Because this entire card, it's a little bit different. I want to break it down. Not only do we have 25 fights, but of course, that card being monumental. There's so many names, lads, as you probably saw on the previous graphic. We have posters from, kind of sporadically chose over the last 100 events, and many of those names that you saw on those posters that have been coasting in or around the top of Primetime MMA have continued to keep themselves relevant, and we see their names time and time again scattered throughout the card, from those early prelims all the way up to the main event. But Doc, I want to chuck it to you first, my man. We've got, obviously in this main and co-main event, something a little bit different. So why don't we take a moment just to explain to people what's actually happening there if you're not if you're not kind of in the know.
So the main and co-main event are for the titles. PS is main event, Xbox is co-main event, but as you may notice, we have Right/Luck and Trixie /Fadinator. Now those fights are just at the end of our main card. They will be 5-round number 1 contender matches. The winner of that will fight for the title in the co-main and main event. So those are the two core fights. So for Trixie, Fad, Right and Luck, 2 of those guys will be having 2 fights this card, not just 1.
A little bit different, I'll get humble, brother. I mean, look, these guys, I don't know if that's going to play in their favour of the guys that get a first fight, or if it'll play to the favour of the champion, because there's 2 ways to look at it, right? They're going to come into this warm, they're not going to be cold. They're going to have, a fight that in the octagon already, a tough fight at that. And of course, if they get past that, they're going to have their confidence riding at a high. But it does also allow the champions a little bit of time to sit back, kind of, assess,
analyze, see what their opponents do.
Yeah, you can see their form. It's all about on the night, right?
Yeah, I do expect them to change the styles. Obviously, we've had Doctor mention it doesn't matter. We had a lot of issues, and this is what's caused this, and we always come up with the best solutions we possibly can. Trixie versus Fadinator is sort of iconic because of the amount of work they've done over the last 2 seasons. It just completely makes sense. And those 2 kind of going at it for the chance to do that is insane, because we've seen that fight. Those guys ran 2 seasons on their own, essentially, Cyrus, for a long period of time. And then you've got Right versus Fuck as well. They're going to be fighting out to fight Stevie for that belt. But just underneath that, Smudger and Shoot. Look at the card, it's just insane. The card is absolutely mental. We've got people from top to bottom, and as we were mentioning earlier, former champions fighting guys who were top ranked players amongst the esports scene, and Psycho Shark, Pabs, and other people like that going throughout the card, Cyrus.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. Look, Trixie, just go back to the Trixie and Fadinator fight. Those guys, as you said, kind of old foes. They have challenged more times for the belt against each other than I think anybody else has actually challenged for a belt, period. They have gone back and forth over a number of seasons, truly been at the top end of, the top end of that division for the longest of times. Of course, we've seen other names come in and get W's, but they have truly been kind of at the top of the pecking order for some time. Now, they don't find themselves as the champions at the moment there, Doctor. They're going to obviously have to battle it out one more time, try and kind of get that essential victory to kind of go up and fight on BFAP Kante, who they are kind of like licking their lips at a little bit at the moment, because their toughest fight, in their own eyes, has been each other. And if they get past that, they're going to be really, really riding high, kind of going into the main event. But the same thing across on the CV. You've got Ripe and Buck. Ripe and Buck have been on some crazy little win streaks at the moment, of course. Some unfortunate circumstances led to this talk, as Humble was mentioning, led to this kind of entire...
Not for them. Not for them, Humble.
Not for them, brother.
Not for them. Opportunities arise. We've seen it with Fonty. Opportunities arise. It's how these guys kind of cope with that and do that, and they've got a tough competitor in CV. They can't be thinking about any of that, They've got Smudger and Shoebox both kind of fighting it out as well. Both of those guys are going to be set up nicely to be fighting maybe for a title in the future. So they've just got to be looking forward, Cyrus, in my opinion. It is unfortunate circumstances for anybody involved, but those two right there will be fighting it out for a title shot at the biggest card of the year. The biggest card of his primetime history. For them, it's a blessing.
Yeah, very, very fortunate. But the main point I'm trying to make on that is that although it's a little bit unfortunate for others, these guys do actually deserve the spot that they have found themselves in, given the circumstances. Yeah. They've got crazy win streaks. Like I think it's Buck that's on a 5-fight win streak at the moment.
Yeah, Buck's on a 5.
Yeah, Buck's on a 5.
Ripe's
yeah.
on the 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Like both of them have built their win streak. Their own losses have been in total fights, if I'm not mistaken. So they both earned their spot, proving themselves to be better. And especially for Ripe, if we want to talk about that. Ripe started out this season winning Sub of the Year, I think it was. He got that Sub of the Year on the PlayStation side, shown great improvement since there. Came out, wrestled, struck everywhere it's been taken. He's shown that. And Vuck, he's the most improved person of the last year as well. So both these guys have showcased their ability and their challenge that they can bring to the PlayStation division. Now they're fighting one of the best in CV. This man's undefeated this season. He's beaten his arch rival of Smudger, some would argue. And that's a tough fight in itself. He's gone undefeated, and now he's got to face against two guys who have showcased their abilities, and that's a massive fight for the PlayStation division.
Yeah, exactly right, bro. Exactly right. And honestly, we have so many fights here this evening. It's almost a blessing in disguise that not every single one of the guys was able to make the presser, because this may have run until the early morning, especially with some of the trash talking that we are expecting in the very, very near future there, Humble. So without further ado, what we're going to try and do as we set this up is we are going to try and invite across the first two guys of this evening, and they're friends, and obviously very, very established within Primetime MMA and the wider esporting community.
We're not friends. These two aren't friends, Cyrus. These two aren't friends. We're bringing in STK Reaper versus the one and only J-Dime, and they've been going at it all week. So what are you talking about? These hate each other. These two don't like each other.
I'm saying our friends, bro.
Our friends, I'm gonna say.
I'm saying
these two
our friends, brother.
These two. Before them two got at it, obviously Reaper, he's highly ranked in the PlayStation division at the moment, and J-Dime's coming in. I know these two kind of fight off stream and stuff like that. We talk about where it is in prime time, but I just want to say one thing before we start, and that is, it is going to be incredibly embarrassing for Reaper, who's ranked number 7 or 8 at the moment, to lose to somebody that's not even competed in prime time. Just to throw that out there, Cyrus.
Well. I mean, you say that, brother. I mean, I think you're adding a little bit of fuel to the fire for Mr. J-Dime. So? Bro, I'm telling you, J-Dime is an absolute killer. If you don't already, make sure to check that man out on his streams. He's been slaying people in the lead up to fighting Reaper, and he's been talking a lot of trash as well, going with it. These guys been at each other's necks. So, I mean, I think it's only right that we welcome these guys into the chat. We've got Mr. Reaper and Mr. J-Dime over here, and if I'm not mistaken, I'll throw it to you first over here, my man Reaper. You came up with this, am I incorrect? You were the one calling for this fight. You wanted that smoke up against J-Dime.
No.
Is it the other way around? J-Dime, you were calling him up.
Listen to me. Ask Pabs. You can go through the chat. He's been running from me. He's been running forever. Like he said, I don't deserve to fight you. Bro, come on. I just want to fight him. I don't care if it's on PT, anywhere. I just want to fight him. He keeps running. You don't deserve to fight me. I've never seen a grown man so scared. I told Pabs, I can't make a grown man do anything. If he pussy, he pussy. I can't make him fight.
Yeah. Well, Reaper, what do you have to say, bro? He's coming out your heart. He's been calling you out. Apparently, you've been running. You've obviously signed it on the dotted line here this evening. Ready for Primetime 100 next. What do you see up against Jay Dime over here, who's been calling a lot of fights, but obviously now he's going to be stepping into the cage against somebody that's been competing for a long time here?
Reaper's muted.
Yeah, Reaper's
probably been talking for like 3 minutes already, and he doesn't realise no one can hear him.
I think
is he
on
here?
the wrong microphone. He was talking just very quietly, very quietly.
I guess we'll go straight back to Jay Dime then, and just let Jay Dime go into him.
There's only one voice that matters. He can just stay over there. There's one voice that matters. What question do you have to ask me?
So Jay Dime.
He was saying that earlier on. He was saying that earlier on about you. He's saying that nobody cares about Jay Dime. Everyone cares about Reaper.
Stop. There's not a soul who cares about Reaper. He's just Reaper. He's not a threat. He's harmless. He's just Reaper.
What was it then, brother, for your first fight in Primetime MMA after holding all these fights, after all of the opposition that you've seen in the PlayStation division ahead of you, that made you call Reaper out in particular? Is it you just on like the cut of his jib, or you've seen something in the technical sense that makes you think you've got a big edge here?
It's just straight like this. Reaper sucks. Like he's in the top 10. There's no way he should be top 10 in the world. He's garbage. There's not a thing he does well on UFC. I don't know how he made it into top 10. So I called Reaper out because, to be real, Reaper is the worst top 10 player in any combat sport, any e-sporting event, period. Reaper is the worst. I don't know how he's here, honestly.
Yeah, can you hear me?
He's trying to get...
There he goes!
Yeah. Right, now listen here, Jay, you shut your little mouth, alright? The only thing I'm running is running through fucking you. You're a bum, you little failure, yeah? You fucking thinking you deserve everything. You're here for 2 hours a week, and I'm gonna fucking murder you, kid, Jay. You're done this Saturday, yeah? You're getting broken in half. The only reason why you're there, Jay, yeah, is because I fucking put you there. You're blessed. Kiss my fucking feet. You're welcome, you little pick.
Hey Reaper, I will beat the dog shit out of you. Like the dog shit out of you. And Reaper,
I'm here now. Shut your fucking mouth, you do nothing, yeah? You little fool,
shut the fuck up real quick.
Fucking make
Listen to me. Reaper didn't want to fight me. He's not going to say he want to fight me. You asked him, you say, no, I did not want this fight. He said, I didn't even want to fight him. I wanted to fight him, period. That's all I want to do.
We work together, by the way, guys.
Hold on, Jay.
I had to chase Reaper. No. I had to chase Reaper.
No.
Like,
Jay,
he can say all
Jay.
you want, but I had to chase Reaper. Reaper does not want to fight. Reaper's a bitch, and he can't change that at all.
Before you go ahead,
I can't make somebody grow balls. I can't do it. I had to force him to fight me. I can't
force me what? Force me what? Force me then, Jay. Do something then.
Hey,
do something then, yeah? You're doing nothing, pal, yeah?
Can't wait. Reaper. So what he's saying is that he tried to get you a fight, and that you're essentially wouldn't give him a fight. What? Can you comment on this?
Yeah, I commented Jay shuts his little mouth and lets me speak, because no one's here for Jay Dime. Jay's a boring prick and all, yeah? They're here for me to listen to me, so tell Jay to shut his little mouth out while I talk, little 5'4" twerp. He do nothing. I put Jay in that seat, yeah? I gave Jay his first live fight, his only bleeding fight. There's many more people that deserve it, that work week in and week out to get where Jay is now, and he walked onto that little stage because of me, yeah? You're welcome, Jay. And just for the fact, yeah, Jay doesn't deserve nothing, yeah? He hasn't aired sweet fuck all in prime time. Done nothing. Does nothing he doesn't, yeah? And here I am. I'm gonna break.
Oh, you done?
I'm gonna smash your orbital bones in you little fool, you.
Jay, respond.
Reaper can't name a damn thing he does better than me. Not one thing in the octagon he does better than me. He won't even say it.
That's better than you.
That's one.
Better than you.
No, you don't. He was scared. Then he was scared to get on the face cam. He said, "Man, he's like, you can bring up the message. We can bring this up." He was like, "Man, I'm doing bad today." He said, "I was doing mad. I'm ugly today, bro." Bro did not want to get on the face cam. Reaper been ducking me. He get on camera like, "Oh yeah, I want to fight him." No, you don't. You can't fool me. You can fool everyone else, but you don't want to fight, Reaper. If you're holding the controller, Reaper, you can't win.
Next Saturday, yeah? You're going to get absolutely
left. You got to give one of your bitch-ass teammates the controller.
Round
you
one.
have that controller, you can't win.
You can't win. In round one. You're getting done. You are getting done.
You can't win, Reaper. We can put a bet on this, too.
You want to do it now? We can put a bet on this, too.
We can bet on this fight, too.
What's the bet? It's going to be shooting. It's going to be shooting.
No, shush. Listen. No,
Jay. No, he's throwing
that. He say, let's bet.
Calm down.
Jay.
We'll come up with a bet. But
no, I have a bet. Jay, if I win, you shave your head. If I lose, I'll shave my head.
No, that's
not
your bet.
You don't
make the rules. You don't make rules.
Take that or shut your mouth, you little fool.
We don't want to bet.
Well, as you can see, if you were sitting at home, if you didn't know the heat that these two had going into this, you know now. Now that's humble saying.
Reaper trying to bet hair. He don't even have hair. How the fuck you gonna bet hair if you don't have hair?
What's gonna bet?
Fuck can you bet hair if you don't have hair? That's not even
like you have hair. Yeah.
That's like Cyrus betting hair. How the fuck we gonna bet hair, Reaper?
Let's hear it. Wait. Can I say something now? Let's calm down now, Jay, right? Let's calm down a little bit. You keep saying, right, that you're better than me, right? And you'll always be better than me, and there's no way I can beat you. What do I do better than you? Jay, you listen to me. I don't need to be better than you all the time. I need to be better than you this time. And I fucking promise you, next Saturday, I am going to be better than you. I'm going to flatline you inside one round, you little weasel, you little fucking pea-head midget, you.
What's your prediction, Jay? What's your prediction, Jay? What's your prediction?
Second? No. It goes to decision because I want to break him. I want to break Reaper to the point where he don't want to play this game anymore. I'm not going to finish him. Every time he drop, I'm going to let him get up and I'm going to put him back down every single time. And I'm not going to finish him. I'm going to embarrass Reaper. And for real, this is an easy. Listen to me. This is an easy fight. Anyone that knows anything knows this is a mismatch.
Yeah, fucking you, matey. You little weasel, you little rat. What about craving for the shortcut? You better listen. You better not believe in your own right, Jay, because you're not that good. No, I'll tell you what. No, hold on. Let me calm down, Jay. You be quiet there for a second, because I want to just tell you something, right? People said I wasn't going to beat Gemini. I beat Gemini. They said I wasn't going to be humble. I beat humble. Then Smoke was the lad to beat me. No, shut up, I'm talking. Smoke was the lad to beat me. And then I beat your little friend. And then people, well, no one thought Lepo was going to beat me. Everyone knew I was going to beat Lepo because he's dirt. But let me tell you something, Jay, as well, right? I'm going through you, kid. Yeah, you were done. After this, you'll only belong in the fucking commentary box because that's the only thing you'll have left over you. You little 0-1 little fool.
So Reaper, what you obviously called him out, brother. What is your kind of prediction for this fight?
It's Jay Dime's funeral next Saturday, yeah, and I'm giving the fucking eulogy.
That is our prime time 100 first fight. First fight, guys. And these guys.
If this is the shit,
these guys talk.
You can only.
And these guys got to work together. They work together. Everything they're saying, by the way, is 100%. They mean it. They work together. They know each other. They're slight friends, but there's a competitiveness there, Cyrus, that them two kind of want to win. Neither of these guys want to lose, right? And thank you to J Diamond Reaper for their amazing sort of start to this press conference.
Yeah,
God bless you, Humble. You're welcome. You're welcome, Humble.
Well, before we get these guys going for one last second, we will be moving on to the next one. We have the one and only Mr. Lucky in the chat with us, of course, does all of the ratings for the events, kind of all the previous events, and it will be for Primetime 100, not just for ourselves, of course, but number of promotions within the community. What do you have questions for there, Lucky? Reaper, G-Dam, all the floor is yours, brother.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is me, it's Lucky, it's motherfucking prime time, let's go! Sorry, I've got to do that one time. Anyway, I do have quite a nice question I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Reaper, mate. Do you feel any sort of nerves going into Primetime 100?
I'm calm, I'm zen, I'm ready to break a face, I'm ready to hurt a man deep down in his soul. I'm going to embarrass him, Lucky, I'm telling you, I'm going to destroy him, I promise you. If we can make a promise to God, this is it. J Dime doesn't get out of the octagon on Saturday night with two working fucking legs.
Very nice, very nice. J Dime as well, do you feel any sort of pressure as well, considering the fact that you haven't competed? I don't know when the last time you competed in Primetime was, but do you feel like any sort of nerves there as well? Like, towards going against Reaper?
Negative. I do my best work under pressure.
Yeah, you're gonna be under fucking pressure, mate. You're gonna be under a lot of fucking pressure. In your face from start to finish, you little rat. Smash your fucking eye sockets in.
And then when you do all that and still lose, what you gonna say?
Nothing. I'm gonna stand over you, yeah? I'm gonna stand over and look at your little corpse. And then I'm gonna
Give
fucking
Storm the
leave you there for
controller.
the corner.
Give Storm the controller. Give one of your bitch ass teammates the controller. Because if you have the controller, you can't win. You can't win. If you hold this controller, you can't win.
Get him out of
My
here.
bitch ass teammates, your little pal Smoke was licking your ass clean last week, and then you got put to sleep like you're gonna be put to sleep, you little fool. My teammates will maul you stone dead, KO, without in a coffin of that fucking
You
up
better
yeah?
give one of them the controller.
Oh, man,
If you
Jay,
want a
yeah,
chance.
before-
One of them.
Lads.
One of them.
It is
And then I'm gonna beat the bitch ass too, Reaper.
I will swim for America just to knock on your front door, Jay,
yeah,
yeah?
we're gonna have to
Reaper,
shut these
Reaper,
guys
I
down.
would
It has been
actually-
a fun.
Let's kick them out of the chance. Just kick them out of the chance.
I have. It has been a pleasure. We appreciate Jay Down.
Wow.
And-
Wow.
No, we
That
expect
What? Jesus. Jesus, maybe have some time limits on this. Can we just spend 10 minutes on that one? But Jesus Christ.
Well, yes, of course.
Oh.
We will be trying to keep a little bit more of a tight lid on it. Tight lid on it as we move forward.
What the fuck?
The best 10 minutes of my
It sounds like an actual press conference for two guys on the first fight. That's actually crazy. Those it's like they've been. Yeah, that's crazy.
But it's exactly what we knew was going to happen when we had those two guys in a booth together. Honestly, this is a fun idea, man. We're going to try and do this shit a little bit more often, I'll be honest with you. I like it. We'll see.
If we can, I'll tell you why, because we need people to kind of be cordial with each other, and obviously, J Diamond and Reaper work together. They work together. They're colleagues essentially in this business. They'll be commentating at one point.
We may not book those two to fight each other again for sure, Humble. I think that that may be the right call, but for right now, it has definitely set us up perfectly to get into Phantom 100 next week. We have.
Who's next?
Let's have a little look here. I don't think.
Pudgy, maybe? Is Pudgy about?
I don't know. I did send him a DM, but he hasn't got back to me. But
If Pudgy's not about, then it might be Kai and Swaggy.
Yeah, so we will.
If they want to come in.
We'll come back to Pudgy and adjust if they, obviously if that fight, or if they do join the chat in the fairly near future. But for right now, we are going to get the one and only Swaggy in here, and of course, former champion and all-round menace in the community here, Humble. In Kai, films. It's been a fun one. So as these guys join us in the booth, of course, Kai, his former champion here in Primetime MMA, has a really entertaining style as he put many kind of promos together for him as well. Humble, better than most that this man does like to get finishes and get finishes quick. He has that killer instinct. But he's going up against one of the most prolific guys over there on Twitch, making his debut here under Primetime MMA, long-time supporter and one of the goats of the community in Swaggy Dr. Kush. It should make it a very, very fun one. I'll throw it to you for a second as I try to get Kai sorted. I know Swaggy's with us.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, Kai hasn't been in yet, so we're going to have to do that trick where you get people in. But this fight is an interesting fight because Swaggy is a teammate of mine, and he's going to have to do his studying. He knows that he's going against a former champion, someone who is prolific doctor in ground and pound finishes. He's a great striker, great all-round player, very good fight IQ, but for me personally, when I talk about Kai, his sort of area where his expertise is when he knocks someone down, he is brilliant at finishing it when it goes to the ground. He can finish people in one sort of ground and pound sequence, and we've seen it for he did it 6 or 7 times in a row at one point to win the belt, and it was phenomenal. So Swaggy's going to have his wits about him. He's going to have to be on point throughout the entire fight.
Indeed, he will be. You have to be careful in where he goes, how he achieves what, and which way, and which. Because Kai is a former champ. He's done the entire fight. He's got to the belt. He's competed for the belt. He knows the score. He knows how to adjust, when to adjust, and that's going to be a tough fight for Swaggy. But I think, as you know, as teammates of Swaggy, Humble, I think you believe that Swaggy can definitely get the right corner, the right camp in, and he's got a week to prepare for someone like Kai. And yeah, maybe
there's footage. There's footage out there. There's footage on both of these guys. That's the thing. And I'll pull in Swag because I know he's on the mic right now because Kai's still struggling to get in. But I don't know if these two guys are probably going to go at each other as much as Jay Diamond think, because they don't probably know each other as well. But Swaggy, Dr. Kush, how are you feeling about this fight? I know you're excited, Swaggy. Tell us your emotions right now.
I'm feeling good, man. You know, I'm excited to make my primetime debut on the live card. And, yeah, man, I'm not surprised that Kai's not in the chat yet. You know, he's not showing up here, and he's not going to show up next Saturday either.
Oh, man. Swaggy, Cyrus, I know you're back. Is Kai having some troubles, or...?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right now, he's having a little bit of an issue, so I may as well just say this out here instead of on the chat. Kai, my man, all you need to do, brother, now I've invited you, is click off the Discord and click back onto it, and then you won't have that overlay at the top. You'll be able to join the chat. Hopefully, we will have that man very, very shortly, but obviously coming into this one, Swaggy, I'll kind of go straight off the bat. Kai, you know, being a big fight here for you, is there anything in particular you feel that you kind of bring to the table you may not have seen before? Is there any areas that you feel that you are kind of got some, you know, dominion over the former champ?
Well, you know, I've been watching a lot of film. Coaches over at TST, you know, the new camp. We've been watching a lot of film, breaking down you know, fights from like Primetime 94 and Primetime 93, Primetime 92, you know, breaking down all of the footage, working with coaches like Humble and PSN. You know, we've been able to break down his flaws, and you know, recently it just looks like he has a lot of flaws everywhere. You know, he's not the guy he used to be, he's not the fighter he used to be, and I think I'm going to take advantage of him pretty much everywhere and show that I belong here.
Yeah, well, lovely stuff. You of course got.
I want Kai in so badly now.
Yeah, I know. Kai
want him in.
I know that
He loves some words.
He always has some choice words, I'm sure. You of course will take a couple of opportunities. I'll set you and Humble up for being part of the same camp as well. TST, a recently formed camp out here. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, we've got.
Yes,
Kai's in.
He's in. Let's go. Kai, did you hear any of that? The mic's working, but we hopefully. There we go. Can we get him?
I think he just said,
Hello.
There he is.
There, Kai. There we are.
Yeah.
How are you doing, brother?
We can hear you now.
Did you hear?
Yeah, I actually had to use from my laptop.
Not a problem.
But yeah, listen, I don't know what Swaggy said. I really don't care, you know, could care less about a guy. I've never heard of the guy anyways, never seen him fight. This says enough about, you know, I guess his star power inside just the MMA community. I've been on a declining topic, you could say so. But you know, I generally see just a man, another guy, another UFC 4 player, you know, standing in my way. So that's the only thing I can do, and just run through to him. I bring the fight every single time, and you know, I'm not in boring fights whatsoever. I show what I am capable of, and that's the only thing I can make of it right now.
Sure, man. You're definitely a fighter that has always worn their heart on their sleeves, win or loss. You go out there and you do push the actions. I expect, especially since I've seen Swaggy fight a lot out here, as I'm sure you have as well, Humble. It's gonna be balls to the wall from the very opening bell. I know that to be the case. I'll kind of ask you the same question I asked. Obviously, Swaggy over here, Kai. Is there? Oh, in fact, I suppose you answer. I was going to ask you: is there any areas you feel that you have a big advantage over Swaggy? But from what you're saying, you've never seen this guy compete, so for you, it's a complete unknown, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Like, listen, I'm not trying to bullshit, but like, I've never heard of the guy. Maybe I've seen his name somewhere around the community, but I don't know where his skills level are. Which is why I'm not gonna, you know, try to put myself too much ahead of him. But I truly believe that, you know, I'm way better than the guy, and you know, we'll find out who's a better guy, you know, this Saturday. And I will just try to share. I'll try to kick him in the face, you know, and there's not more that I can do about it.
Swaggy, response to that?
You know, I feel like I'm really being doubted here. And Kai, man, you're gonna get knocked the fuck out. First round, you're not even a challenge to me, big dog. Not even a challenge. I'm gonna walk through you. You're not the fighter you used to be. Former champion for a reason, because you're a fucking washed up bum.
Yeah, right. That's why you've never been a champion in primetime MMA. Sit the fuck down, please.
It's my first fight. It's my debut. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you and prove why.
Get the fuck
Bitch.
down, man. I'm wondering what I'm gonna tell you when I, kick you in the face and you're just gonna be, it's like, sparked out, just gonna
Please
die
try
there.
to kick me in the face. Please try to kick
I
me.
feel like as a former champion and your debut fight, you should show me way more respect. Maybe, I'll consider not killing you inside in there, but I guess that's all up to you.
Nah, no respect. You're a bum.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show why next Saturday.
You know me. When I beat you, I'll be toxic as fuck. So you better be careful what the fuck you're doing.
I was thinking that as you said as well. I know what Kai's like. I'm going to throw it to Lucky as well. Lucky, do you have any questions you want to ask?
I do. So Kai ranked 32, just near outside the obviously the top 32. Surely there's got to be some sort of pressure you're going towards Primetime 100, just in case, like if you do somehow lose, if you do lose against Swaggy, that you could be out of the top 32. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, of course. I've been with Primetime a long time, so it would suck, of course, to lose to a guy making his debut, big mouth, trying to show off to whatever it is he can do. But there's not much. Listen, I've lost, I must admit, a good amount of times in Primetime recently. I haven't been, just like he said, at the top, but maybe this is my return, it's my comeback. Who knows? The only thing we can do is find out. When he goes in the cage, that is his place, and when I go into my ring, that's my octagon. So we're gonna find out who's the boss.
Any other questions out here for anybody else now, Lucky?
I've got one for Swaggy as well. How does it feel to be finally debuting at Primetime?
It feels good, and it's a big challenge to fight a former champion. But
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I said, I'm coming in very confident, and it's gonna be a first round finish.
Oh, I'm excited.
I know. I can't wait to.
Do you actually believe it yourself? Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Do you actually believe you're gonna knock me out in the first round? That's what you gotta ask me. I'm not just, I'm not one trick pony. I can do it all, big man. So you gotta be, diverse in every single aspect of the game. That's all I can tell you.
I know exactly what you can do. I've had my eye on you for a while. See, I watch film. I do what I gotta do. I do my homework. You're gonna get your ass kicked, Kai. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Dunzo, GG. See y'all at Primetime 101.
If it's gonna be striking, I'll gladly sniff your balls for 3 rounds if I have to. You know what I mean? It's just not something I'm gonna be awake.
That's not somewhere you want to go with me, baby. You do not want to go to the ground.
Yeah, we will see about that. You just show me what you're capable of, okay? When you knock the fuck out, you're gonna apologize to me for being disrespectful.
Yeah, when that cage closes, I'm gonna fucking bully you until I decide to put you to sleep.
Yeah, we will see about that. We'll see.
We'll put a stop to that. That is the third fight on Primetime. Maybe the second fight, actually, if I'm correct, Cyrus. That is the second fight. Amazing. Former champion in Kai, one of the best ground and pound artists I've seen. He's durable, he's versatile, he's got great striking, he can mix it up. He hasn't been on the best of streaks lately against an up-and-coming prospect with a lot of good coaches behind him who's going to be pushing him to the right direction to try and do it, studying Kai films, and you can see right there, Kai's not one you disrespect, Cyrus.
No, like when he said, "I'm a toxic motherfucker," basically, when I beat you, I'm gonna make you regret this. He most certainly is. He is one of those guys that times up his toxicity through his opponents in particular. He tends to direct it very, very well. In all fairness to him, but I'm excited, honestly, to see those guys throw down. Kai has obviously done fantastic things in this community, has won belts in Primetime, elsewhere, and all round already established himself as one of the top guys on the PlayStation side of the equation. So for Swaggy to come in now, an entertaining striker, a man that really does like to push the action and get finishes, obviously his confidence seems to be at an all-time high out here as well, Doctor. He's obviously been doing all he needs to get that footage in and kind of get the work in the lab to get himself ready. So with all of that kind of in mind, I'm excited to see those two guys coming down and seeing what Kai we get, and of course how Swaggy is able to deal with the pressure of making that debut.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so far I think I mentioned 2 fights, 2 A lot of trash
Crazy.
talking is as simple as that.
Crazy.
It's been absolutely crazy laughter across the board. Kai definitely.
Who's
making
next? That's the
himself
question.
known. I don't know, but I imagine it's going to be a barn burner. nonetheless.
If you're in the press conference now, Cyrus said half an hour, by the way, and I said to him it's more like 2 hours, and like two press conferences already. It's gold. Can't even end it. It's like it's too good. So Cyrus, who are we going to be bringing in next? Because there's a lot of people in here that want to go at each other. Who are we bringing in?
Well, I believe that Big E was here earlier. I think he may have had to shoot off for the moment. I know his time was a little bit limited. So as we look forward, I know that we've got NM Psycho Shark here.
And we got Pabs.
And we've got Mr.
Got out of
Pabs.
water logical?
There you
Okay.
go. That's in. Did you say logical? Is logical in here?
Oh no, it's okay. It's fine. I don't know if logical's here. I think out of water's here though.
He's around. I know it's Art of War is here. Yeah.
Art of War is here. Did you say?
Yeah, we'll go Psycho Shark and then perhaps we'll go back to Art of War if he wants to say anything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're just going to wait for Pabs to jump in for the moment. I know that Mr. NM Psycho Shark has jumped in for the moment, but we will loop back around, of course, to Logical and Art of War, especially if Logical is able to get in here. But for the moment,
I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he is. I know Art is here, so we'll give Art obviously his opportunity. He's here, he's ready to do his thing. Of course, Psycho Shark, my man. Welcome to the press conference. Obviously, a first, my man. You have a big fight coming up in the PRIMETIME MMA up against one of the true veterans here, and also obviously does some staffing himself as well. So the guy that's kind of all around the community. How do you feel about this matchup with Pabs?
Yo, it's good to be here. Good matchup. He's obviously just not wanting to show up. He's being a bitch. So
Here we go.
yeah.
Wasn't he saying earlier on, like, let's talk some shit, you know, it's like, oh, and then he's not here. What's going on here?
Except a hand.
I don't understand. He wants to talk shit, but he no shows. What's going on?
I know you were talking in the chat earlier on about the position on the prelims and stuff. How does that make you feel as well, being on the prelims? Like, does that put pressure on your shoulders? I know you're against Pabs. Pabs is, I think he was a former champion, if I'm not a contender, Cyrus, if I'm correct. Pabs was.
Definitely a contender. I don't believe he's been a champion.
Okay.
But yeah,
All right, finally, I got it.
There we go. There he is.
well, Pat, my man. We'll ask you the same question. We just asked Mr. Psycho Shark. I mean, how are you feeling about this matchup? I know that you weren't too happy about being a little bit further down on that card, but you got
Yeah, what's up with that? That's an abomination. I should have been on the main card. Should have been a main card fight.
Name Doc.
Yeah,
All I'm saying.
Why are you showing it to me?
It's where you find
Doc, who
yourself
doesn't
at this
match
point, bro. It's at your point where you find yourself. But obviously, whether or not you're on the main card, the prelims doesn't really matter. You're in a very visible spot of that card, and you're going to be going up against a dangerous threat, to be quite honest with you. Over on the PlayStation division, Xbox division, sorry, Psycho Shark has been rising up. What do you feel like kind of heading up to PRIMETIME 100?
Me and Thuggle used to be in a camp together, and we're good friends. I don't want to talk too much trash.
Oh, you didn't hear what he said before you came in.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you heard what he said before he came in then.
Psycho Shark started early.
Yeah, Psycho Shark's bunched your head, it seems.
We're both going strikers, hopefully it's an entertaining fight, no grappling. Nobody wants to see none of that at PT 100, Trying to have a good fight, make it entertaining, throw some hands. I'll probably KO him in the second round. That's my prediction. I'll probably get him out in the second.
No chance. No chance.
And what's your predictions then, Psycho Shark?
On the feet, I'm going to put on a masterclass, and if it does go on the ground, he's going to look like a fish out of water. I'm sorry, Pabs, but
that's going to be
the way it goes.
Man, I'm a monster anyway, I'm a monster anyway.
So,
Before we throw it to Lucky to ask a question as well, I want to ask something. You've both been in a form. You just mentioned you've both been in a team together. Being in a team with a lot of guys, I think Cyrus was on the same page here. Being in a team with a lot of guys, that means you've sparred each other a lot. How did those spars go, Psycho Shark?
I'm gonna say something. Psycho Shark was somebody I used to train on how to strike. I used to show him some striking tips. I used to teach him how to strike a little bit. He's talking about putting a master class on me. I used to teach him. He ain't master class another.
This is all talk. This is all bullshit. Yeah, we sparred multiple times, but that was a long time ago. I left that camp ages ago. We don't want to.
I agree. It was a long time ago. You're alright.
We don't want to talk about that camp. Well, I'm in the best camp, NM, as you can see.
I'm proud of you. You went on to big things. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, the improvements have been massive. I'm glad that you're in a better camp, I'd say now. But
be honest,
Smudger and a lot of the guys, if people didn't know, like a lot of good guys in that camp.
Oh yeah, I've gotten much better with this camp. The improvements are mental. But yeah, I just feel like everywhere the fight goes, I'm going to have the advantage. I'll be one step ahead.
Be honest though, Shark. How shook were you when you saw you got me as an opponent?
Oh, I was fine. I was like, fucking hell, easy fight here.
Don't you lie, you're
easy top 15
terrified.
here. Easy top 15 here. Especially after the Trixie fight, where I had sold my biggest fight to date, sold it so hard, easily, and
I cornered Trixie to beat you that fight. I was cornering him.
This man was in his corner, and it makes it.
These guys are friends, Cyrus. These guys are friends. These guys are best friends.
No friends here.
No friends. Lucky, do you have any questions you want to ask?
I do. I have indeed. So I could see here that you're both literally next to each other in terms of rankings. 21 and 22. Pabs, I've got a question for you. So you could go 3-0. How much pressure are you going to feel Monday night? And how do you think your fight is going to go against Psycho Shark? Do you feel like you need to change your game plan against him?
I'm a very honest man, alright? I do get nervous in live fights. It is PT 100. It's a big spot. So, if he comes and puts it on me early, that's gonna be his best chance, Come and get me early. I do get a little nervous. The longer the fights go, I think I'll settle in more. I think I get him out in the second.
Interesting.
Very interesting. And Saga Shark, question to you. Would you say that Pabs was your biggest challenge to date?
No, I would have said Trixie was.
And he lost that fight.
He's the go to Primetime. The first round couldn't have gone any better, was doing really well. Done damage to his head, body, was winning the fight comfortably, and then I got KO'd. It happens. And this man was in his corner, and it makes it more personal. So now I need to get this guy. Now I need to get him back, beat him, and then look for a rematch with Trixie.
I called for the jab, straight head kick. I called for the flying knee that led to the finish. I did it all, alright? I've already beat him once, I'm gonna do it twice.
You little rat. You little rat.
Amazing. Thank you both guys, Cyrus.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks you guys very, very much. So I expect big things out of this fight, honestly. Well, every single one of these fights was...
That's going to be crazy.
It was a pleasure to put this card together, honestly. Me, Doc, and I know you jumped in as well, Humble. We had a little look over these things, putting these matchups together, and some of them just kind of lined up perfectly, like that one right there. Easy to make. A little bit of background, previous teammates, everything else, and they find themselves in a very similar spot right now in that Xbox division. With, a lot on the line. Pabs is risking an undefeated record up against somebody that knows his style very well, that obviously has been doing phenomenally well in the division, and put on some great performances in Psycho Shark. It does seem to be some of that new blood in the division now rising through. So kind of old guard v new guard, a lot of skills on the table, a lot of a lot on the line, not just ranking spots going into that one, but another fun one, man. We're starting to move through these a little bit. Just a little bit quicker there, Humble. I believe we have Art of War in here, so we're going to bring him in.
Well, let's get him in. He's called out everybody, put his opponent apparently in the chat. I love Art of War. I'm good friends with Art of War, so be interesting. I love him. He knows.
Mental in the chat.
Yeah. When Connor's at like a press conference and he's prodding and poking at people in the back, he's fighting with Usman. He wants to fight Khabib. Like, he's setting up future fights. That's what Art of War does. He's very, very smart to do that. If he wants to come in the chat, we'll try and get him in right now. If he wants to do it, and he can have a say on his opponent, or even just Primetime in general, because I know he's got that. If he doesn't, we might move on. I don't know who else we got to go, Cyrus. I'm not sure. Got anybody else? World Life's in here. Is he not? Is he gone?
We will give him a couple of minutes. I have sent him an invite. Since he's in here, I can only assume that he wants to speak, of course. But we'll give him a couple of extra seconds. Like many people, of course, this is a new way of setting it up. We're running a little bit of a different thing on the Discord side of things, so hopefully he's able to accept it any moment. Sorry, I was also typing out the same message there, Mr. Humbleding. Good shit.
Yeah, no, look, I like it. This is an interesting dynamic as well, because we've got with Primetime works with everybody listening to us right now. We've been building a chemistry between the commentators and everybody involved with Primetime. I usually say it takes about 5, 6, 7 shows to kind of build a chemistry. This is the first time we've ever done a press conference. We brought Lucky. Lucky's the guy who's been doing rankings, and he's done so much for the community outside of Primetime, as well as doing stuff for us, and it's a skill and an asset that we see, and we just thought it'd be interesting to get him in and kind of do stuff, and the questions he asks are so different from the ones we asked. They're perfect. So Lucky, you're killing it, brother.
I will say though, brothers, three absolute like wars going on from at the moment, and I'm already fucking hyped. It is going to be absolutely fantastic next week. I am looking forward to it.
Yeah,
It's just the icing on the cake, Doc.
Yeah, it really is. The icing on the cake. We're not even halfway through looking at the prelims fights. We've got a couple more we've missed out. We've got Easy Work Big E, Art of War, Logical, Top Gun, Slasher. Those fights are bound to be killer, even if we don't get to hear them on the press conference tonight. But yeah,
Who wants to be in on the? Who wants to come in on the prelims right now? If you want to come on the prelims, we're doing it right now. If you've got two people and you think, let's get you in, let's get going, moving. I don't know if who else is here. Caliber Tad would have been perfect. I'm gutted them two having decided to kind of come because them two
make it. But look, those two guys, although they're not going to be talking shit on this press conference here this evening, I can guarantee you there'll be a lot of that going on in the Discord leading up the week of. Make sure to keep your eye out on the Fight Hype chat that we have now set up in prime time. Obviously, it's our new version of the Trash Talk channel, and it seems to be going down pretty well. People seem to be appreciating the opportunity to talk a little bit of shit going up to those fights there, Humble. But looking at the card and having a little glance over, unless my eyes deceive me, I believe the next fight that we have, some of the fighters in for, is actually 6 Mango. Am I right saying that Blake?
Oh yeah.
Blake is not here though. Am I right?
Blake won't be here. I'll pretend to be Blake. Don't worry. I've got a good. I used to be in team with Blake for 3 years, so don't worry. I'll be Blake, the Northern Ireland. Left STK, become a worse player, and. Blake not here to defend himself, so I'm just going to rip into him for hours. So let's get Mango in, so we can just absolutely obliterate Blake for a bit.
Yeah, just drop this man a little invite here. Now, for anybody that does not know, Mango, of course, bursting back onto the scene a little bit more recently out here, Doc. He's a man that's been around for a very, very long time. In fact, you found out moments before the card, looking back into the kind of vault of Primetime, that this guy right here was actually the main event of Primetime 1. So with him being the front main event of Primetime 1, it's nice to see him coming back for Primetime 100.
Yeah, he's really on the scene back. I've had fights with Mango. That's where I start with K1 Maya, for God's sake, against Mango. So the man's a good competitor. He's a fun fight. He knows the score. He's been around these leagues for probably longer than most people have. So he's killer in all aspects. He's competed both on Xbox and PS. Now he's ranked highly on the PS side, so he's looking to make his mark there. He's very top at the high end of the prelims. So a win against Blake, you're only going to add to his I forgot the word. Add to
we can get him in.
Yeah, if we could get him in, but we love technology. So yeah,
I think he's trying to do it a little bit of a different way. Don't spam the button, brother. Literally, when I send you an invite, click off Discord and back onto it real quick, and you'll see that the option is there at the top for you to
wish it was a bit more simple for the guys.
Yeah, we're going to look at it. We went with this option just so that we could have a little bit more easy control over who was able to speak and who wasn't. Because obviously, as you can tell from some of these early ones, it would have been absolute madness if we did it any other way.
No.
yeah.
Let's if we can get we've got more slash there as well. He's in. There we go.
So,
what's good, Mango?
Yeah, Mr. Weasel Mango, welcome into the chat, brother. I'm sure that it was nice to overcome that early adversity and get into the call. So now you've got that hurdle out of the way. What to say, brother? If you didn't hear us, of course, Primetime 1 back in the day. I don't know if you remember, but you were the main event of that card going up against Slick Cole.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, man, that was quite a time.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember those days.
My God, how long ago was that?
Running on like
3 years ago.
Yeah, quite some time.
2020.
Jesus Christ,
that's when that card was.
What do you think about Blake? Do you know much about Blake, Mango?
Well, one thing I know about Blake is that he's got 9 fights, lost half of them. I don't think he's going to be much of a test for me today. I've been around quite some time. I kind of look at myself as like a Cerrone of prime time, if you will. So I see myself just having my way with him, busting out combos, having fun, putting on good fights as always, and just having an easy night.
Well, Mango, one of the main questions I wanted to ask you, brother, of course, is that for a little bit of a time you took a step away from active competition. I wanted to know, during that time, when you were refining those skills, did you just take a bit of a break away to reset, kind of mind, body, and soul, or were you in the lab that entire time? Because you come back on the PlayStation and you look like a different beast. I'm not going to lie to you. You were always at the top end, of course, as shown by you being main event on the PT1, but you do seem to have leveled up even still.
Yeah, well, in that time away, you know, I kind of thought, you know, taking a more casual approach would be better for myself mentally. You know, after the main event on Primetime 1, I remember I lost that fight pretty handedly to Slick. But, you know, I just had to get used to the game and its mechanics. You know, I had UFC 3 down, you know, no problem. But once we transitioned to UFC 4, there was a lot I had to get used to. I really needed to take time to get used to the grappling mechanics and everything else. And that's why I've come back now. You know, I feel like I'm comfortable everywhere. There's no holes in my game. And if anything, I'm most comfortable in grappling.
Before we throw it to Lucky, I'm going to just ask you one question. Blake is a Northern Ireland young shit talker. He likes to talk a lot of trash, Mango. How do you feel like this fight's going to go down in the sense of how do you feel like you're predicting your finish, things like that? What do you think you're going to do to Blake in this one? Because it is Primetime 100. You've come full circle. Primetime 1 to Primetime 100. You lost Primetime 1, but this could be a spectacular event for you.
Well, I'm certain it's going to be a spectacular event. You know, next Saturday I've been thinking about it all the time, basically. Even when I'm, you know, in the gym, you know, I'm just thinking about, oh man, you know, in UFC 4, you know, I got to think about this combo I've been busting out. It's looking clean. You know, it's my life's revolving around it. It's a big day for me. It's a big day for all of us. And I know, you know, we got to make sure that, you know, I step up when it matters most. And I know, you know, getting Blake, that was exciting because I'm like, oh yeah, this is my time to shine. This is my time to show that Mango is back and he's here to stay. And sooner rather than later, he's going to be back in that main event, taking belts and taking names.
Let's go.
Before we let this man go back to his evening, of course, thank you once again for joining us, Mr. Weasel Mango, one of the true kind of OGs of the community. Lucky, my man, do you have any questions or the one?
I do as well. Mango, obviously, well done for making it from Primetime 1 to Primetime 100. It's a massive achievement for you to still be here. You know, I absolutely love the OGs in the scene that like to go different levels, you know, to improve their game. So if you do defeat Blake, who do you have in mind going into like next event, and what's your aspirations after Primetime 100?
Well, the aspiration is always the belt. That's always the goal for sure. But one thing I've definitely trying to get back is that one loss I have on my record, you know. And I lost to a very good guy, you know. But I'm just trying to avenge that. You know, like I said earlier, I'm trying to take names.
Who was it?
So, it was Nepo.
Okay. All right. Maybe we make that fight if he wins, you know, like, maybe we make that fight.
Yeah,
that would be an amazing fight.
Well.
Yeah, I have to get that one back.
Obviously a big test coming up there, Mango. We appreciate you joining back, brother. Great to see the OGs continuing to do their thing. We look forward to seeing you step in that octagon next Saturday with the young Irishman Blake. We'll jump back across, obviously, to the audience with Mr. Mango there for a second, and we will move on. I believe that you wanted to bring Raw Slasher.
Got Slasher or Art of War, yeah. Slasher's probably next because I said I'd get him in. Slasher's fighting Top Gun. He's just after the, I don't know if we can go back to the card, Cyrus. I think he's just after the prelim, so if we get Slasher in, or Art of War's here now. Art of War, man, how you doing? You're on mute. He's in. He's already in. Art of War just go. You may as well go. We'll get Slasher in next. You may as well go. You're in. It takes 5 minutes to get someone in, so you know we'll get you in right now if you want to speak. You've been calling everybody out in the chat, Art of War. You are the Conor McGregor of this community. If you could take yourself off mute and talk some shit, that would be what we need. He's nervous. Hello, man. Yo, what's good, man?
You know, I can't wait to finally get a fucking dub this week, prove that I'm the fucking best on planet Earth, and take that belt. And none of y'all is gonna stop me. Not you, Ali, you cheesy rat. Leo, you know what I'll do to you. M-Town, you're pretty good. You might stop me. But the rest of y'all...
What do you think of your opponent? What do you think of your opponent? Do you know much about him?
Logical. Just another guy. He's not gonna do much.
Interesting. Sai?
No, I was gonna say, obviously,
if you want to...
recent kind of top 1 or 2 matches, so I understand the eagerness to get back in there and get a big W. Have you been doing any kind of homework or logical going into this one? Do you feel like there's any area that you kind of massively have an advantage going into this bout? Try and get yourself back into that win column.
No, actually, no. I've not watched any tape on Logical or done any study on him. I'm to be honest, I'm looking past him. I just want that Ali fight back. I want to fight him again, and so yeah, I'm not really too worried about Logical. He thinks he's something. Everyone's like, oh, respect Logical. It's all because I'm guessing he beat their ass or something. He ain't gonna do nothing to me.
Doc's making notes, Cyrus, because of the matchmaking. These guys calling people out afterwards, and I think it's a perfect point as well. We'll go straight to Lucky. We'll go straight to Lucky. Lucky, you got a question?
Yeah, I do. It's a shame that Logical isn't here because I would love to see what his take is from what you just said. But it is a shame. I will say though, with Logical's, I'm kind of guessing he's on a 3-fight winning streak. I don't know. That's correct, right? Okay. Considering he's got a 3-fight winning streak and he's 5-4, is that intimidating at all to you, or do you think you can actually like counteract that going into Primetime 100?
That is something to note, a 3-win streak, but I'm different than ever. I'm sure if you look at the guys he's just fought, I'm sure that they were guys that pretty much anyone in here can beat, and I'm not just anyone you can just beat. Look at Ali. Ali had to run from me for 3 rounds and spam that fucking glitchy single leg, and he had to do that. Like, he had to do that. If he didn't do that, if we saw 30 seconds into the fight, what happened? He got rocked, right? So, if Logical keeps it clean and tries to match my game, I don't doubt there's not a single player on this planet that can do that besides a very few select people, and he is not one of them.
Fantastic.
Well, once again, we appreciate you jumping in there, Mr. Art of War. We will jump back in. We are not going to waste any time. I apologize for missing him. There's a lot of guys in this chat. It's a bit of a new setup, so we're going to get Mr. Raw Slasher in here.
Yep.
We had obviously skipped past him a little bit by accident. He is at the beginning end of the prelims, just after the early prelims, the first fight in. Just dropped this man a little invite now, so hopefully he'll be with us in a quick moment. Am I right in saying that Top Gun is not here? His opponent Top Gun is not here?
I don't believe Top Gun is here, no, but I'd be interested to get Raw. I used to be on Raw back in the day, so it'd be interesting to see Raw Slash's sort of take. I believe he's the only guy representing Raw on the PT 100 card. It's like a shame because we got someone else. Say again?
Yeah, we got Raw Demo competing.
Oh, Demo, yeah, of course, yeah.
Is he got a lot of the I know Matrix was looking to be about at one point, but couldn't make it sadly. So a lot of
struggling.
Everybody has these initial teething issues of trying to connect it. So once again, Mr. Raw Slasher, click off Discord, click back on it when I send you the invite. That will allow you for a couple of seconds to be able to accept the invite off. So yeah, obviously we'll give him a couple of moments. But what we will do while we give him a couple to be able to join there. We were talking about it kind of in the chat a moment ago, but we'll take a couple of seconds just to have a little bit of a top look as we move out. So of course after this we'll be going to Pigeon and I believe M-Town, who are both here.
Oh, there we go. Is he in? Is he coming in? Oh, he has to go off and on, Raw. Come on, you got this, Raw. You got this. I was going to say, like, about the Raw, like Raw representing, Raw Slasher representing Raw. You know, it's a big sort of, it's a big statue. Because I was gutted, I know, when we were doing the matchmaking, because we did it all together and we had to go through everything. Matrix and Spooky have been representing Primetime for Raw recently in the last 2 seasons, essentially, Cyrus, and neither of those guys have kind of been as active as they wanted to be, or have won as many fights as they wanted to be, so they didn't quite get to where this, which kind of broke my heart slightly. But at the same time, Raw Slasher has an opportunity to kind of carry the flag, and he's going to be fighting somebody who is a top player. So it'll be interesting to get his sort of opinion on it. I'm hoping he can get joined in, but he's having some issue right now.
Yeah, he most certainly is. I'm continuing to send him invites. Hopefully he'll be in a moment. But I expect big things from this fight, to be quite honest with you. I know it's obviously early down in the card, but NBA Top Gun has been doing some great work. He is 2-1 at the moment, on a +1. So already suffered that first loss. That's something that Raw Slasher has not done this season. He's currently undefeated.
That first loss, if I'm correct, was to Ginger though. And where we, yeah,
that's terrible.
It was
Don't lose to Ginger. It's so bad.
Humble. Maybe that's the fight to next. You versus Humble. You versus Ginger.
Just watch it on my stream. I'll post it on my YouTube after this. Don't worry, guys. Don't have to watch it. We'll post it. I don't have to fight. I stop fighting. I'm an old man now. Sorry, old man Humble. You know what I mean? It's over and done with. Man,
yeah, but we know
done enough. Raw, it looks like we're not going to be able to get. We're going to not be able to get Raw in.
Yeah. Looks like we're having issues getting Raw in at the moment. He will continue to join. I'll continue to send him invites. If he does manage to join, we will go back. Oh, there he is.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Raw. Slasher, we'll go straight to it. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You're representing Raw, like I just mentioned. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
Spooky and Matrix have been carrying the flag for PT for a long time. Those guys I used to be on the same team as yourself as well when you used to have UK and US. And those guys are the pinnacle of the Raw sort of stable. And you're carrying the flag into PT. How much pressure is in that? And also, do you know anything about your opponent?
First of all, like, it's a lot of pressure to carry a whole camp, like, just for it was a PT 100. You know what I mean? It's like what, the 100th primetime event, but yeah, that's pretty much it for that one.
And your opponent, anything about him?
Top Gun. From what I've heard, he's a pretty skilled player. He can hold his own, but like he's a very humble guy too. Like I've known him for a little bit now. He's very humble, but yeah.
No, that's good. Sai?
So I was just going to say, brother, I mean, obviously I know you said there's a lot of pressure with the camp, but you are currently undefeated as well in this promotion. You know how important those undefeated spots are, especially as you start to accumulate a couple of wins. Obviously the end goal is always that belt, but I know you're not the type of guy to look past your opponent, but kind of in the future, is there anybody looking up that card that you kind of have your eyes set on, should you be able to get past, obviously, this dangerous fight coming next Saturday?
Yeah, it's always been for the title, you know. That's what everyone looks for when, like, they start fighting. They always want to look for the title. So whoever's at the top, that's who everyone wants.
100% right. Yeah, that's it. Everyone aims for the title,
always,
and everyone goes for it. And if you're looking at 3-0s as well, Cyrus, at the moment, you've got Shoebox versus Smudger, who are about to fight for a potential #1 contender fight at PT 100. So he's one shot away, essentially, from a big moment. So essentially, Slasher, this could be huge for you. But I'm just going to throw it straight to Lucky if he's got a question for you, considering you're fighting Top Gun.
I do, yes. So going into Primetime 100s, you know, I know how it feels. For example, like being, you know, unstreamed and streamed, and having the pressure being on streamed is like really intense compared to like having it unstreamed. So going into it, are you going to be feeling on the day, like, well, you got a week to go, so are you going to prepare yourself more and more going into Primetime 100, considering the fact that you are on the prelims and not the early prelims?
Yeah, 100%. I prepare myself for any fight, and I've already spoken it up with my camp mates, and like they're all going to help me prepare. It's going to be a good one.
Amazing.
That's good.
Thank you for your time, Slasher. Go on, sorry.
I'm so sorry. I was going to ask one more question. So you got a week to go. Is there any sort of game plan you would like to reveal going into Primetime 100 against Top Gun?
My game plan is to slowly pick my shots and hit and don't get hit. That's the only thing what I'm trying to achieve.
Beautiful.
I do have one last question for you then, Mr. Smasher, before we let
Yep.
you go, brother. Obviously, as we've been asking everybody else kind of leading up to this one, what is your prediction for that fight with PRIMETIME 100 up against Scotland? How do you see it go?
My prediction is maybe second round knockout, third, one of those.
Fair, brother. Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's always entertaining to pull your fights. We look forward to seeing you in there. Good luck come next Saturday. You, the NBK Top Gun, could be one hell of a fight over on that PlayStation division.
Thank you. I'll see you there.
Appreciate you, brother.
Respectful dude as well, Cyrus. Like, you know, I know these guys, the Raw guys, they're quite respectful. If you got Matrix in, got Spooky in, got any of those guys in, they're going to be quite respectful to their opponents. You can kind of see that coming through, right? They didn't want to over-exert himself and kind of do what Reaper and J Dime and KI and Swaggy and other those guys did, and he's quite a respectful dude. But it's nice to essentially, you know, get a guy like that in the roster so far. We haven't had it yet.
Yeah, 100%. And look, honestly, that's the way to be, man. You've got to be yourself. If talking shit comes naturally to you, then you got to let that thing fly. If it doesn't, then of course, be true to yourself. And it was good to see him come on there, respectful young man. I look forward to seeing what he does in that cage. I mean, like I say, he's always been interesting in the past to see him fight, and obviously he's going to, he's going to be coming with all guns blazing quite clearly. Although he's very respectful outside the cage, they're humble. When it comes to game night, he's always been all business.
Yeah.
Now, we have got Pigeon in the chat, and we're trying to get M-Count's finest in here as we speak. But Pigeon, as we were saying about Weasel Mangle, you're one of the guys that has been with us for a long time yourself. You've grown from a young lad into a man over that time, and have developed your skills quite considerably. You have got yourself muted right now, just to let you know. But how are you feeling after so many years in the Octagon, under so many years of experiences fighting under PRIMETIME's banner? Do you still get those nerves, brother? Are you going into this PRIMETIME 100 with your confidence at an all-time high, or do you feel like the pressure is maybe a little bit there?
Obviously, you have that first round pressure, obviously, which is it's a bit shit, to be honest, but it's there. I had like that year break, then I just didn't play the game, to be honest, and I just come back out of nowhere and started playing, and then obviously I just got my ranks up, got a couple of wins behind my belt, took out some notable names. I don't even know who this M-Town is, but he fights in KM in it, so there's going to be no shit house, let's be honest. He's going to give me a fucking fight, which I'm excited about, man, but I think I've got the life curse. I mean, last 4 live fights I think I've lost, so it's not looking good right now, boys, can't lie.
At least you're honest. I mean, you've got to have some confidence going into this fight. I imagine there's enough footage on M-Town. I know he's had a fight with Art of War. That's recently become one of the fighter nights. So, I mean, if you're going into this, Pigeon, what do you expect to be happening?
To be honest, I don't even know who M-Town is. Like, no offense to the guy, he's probably like proper good. You know what I mean? I've never seen him fight. Again, I don't watch PRIMETIME. I just like turn up, watch my fights, watch like 2 more and like go to bed or something like that. No offense, but like he's gonna be good. Like, I'll be honest. Other than that, everyone sounds. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna win the title. There's too many good players. You got Drizz, you got Pabs. Like, you know what I mean? No chance of winning belt, but I'm just gonna beat fuck out of people.
And Lucky, you've got any questions?
I do, yes. So your confidence sounds like it's a bit of an issue, and it's going to probably affect your game. The one thing you got to do in there is you got to show your killer instinct, and you have to do what you have to do to win. So going into against M-Town, do you think your nerves is going to be a big factor going into PRIMETIME 100? And if so, do you think is there any way you can sort of suppress it?
Absolutely not. I'm not going to have nerves, you know what I mean? I'm just going to, first 30 seconds, I'm just going to, be chill, move around. Just realised what I said. Do apologise, PRIMETIME. You know what I mean? We're going to get
Oh, god damn. That's what I was muted, but as I said, you're a feral bird. I will give you that, Pigeon.
Seriously, feral. Pigeon is a good name for you.
First minute, you know what I mean, it's going to be a bit of nerves, but I'm just going to move out way his shots, you know what I mean? No sidestepping, I'll just move out the way, pop him in the face, knock him out in thirds, you know what I mean? Simple as that. He might come in with some leg kicks, maybe some headshots, don't really care. I'll dodge out by them. You know what I mean? I'm like the Flash Brothers, it's like the Matrix in here, you know what I mean? I've been moving out of the way these shots like for fun and pop him in the face.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's Pigeon Masterclass, boys. It's coming back.
I know Pigeon, that you may or may not like this comparison, but yourself and another guy that always comes to mind as people that are generally under kind of slept on a little bit by the community, quite honestly. Yourself and Mr. Humble Hayes, back in the day, you taken on a lot of great names in the communities. I know, honestly, guys who have got fantastic striking and have put on some really great performances in the past, being able to get tough, big W's over some tough opponents. We do apologize, the camera's jumped out, as happens when you mute yourself there, Humble. So if you could unmute yourself, thank you, brother. So yeah, Pigeon, it has been a pleasure calling your fights up until now. Did we go to Lucky already? Because my headset cut out.
I'm gonna let you do one more question.
We did. I did.
Give him another one, Lucky. Give him another.
I'll give you another. So going into it, that's the confidence I would like to hear. As I say, would you like to tell us your game plan of what you're going to go towards going into M-Town?
Move out of the way of him, you know what I mean? He ain't going to touch me. He might hit me a couple of times, but, I've got that head movement. I've got that dog in me, as some people say. You know what I mean? Get him stunned. I'm going to start putting pressure on, because that's why I messed up against Zach, which I learned about, because people were telling me I'll back it up too much, and let's be honest, I've beaten the fuck out of him on the back foot. But obviously, I should have just put the pressure on, put him down, but didn't happen. He knocked the fuck out of me in that second round, I can't lie. He started jabbing me, overhand right, slept me like a bitch. But, fuck it, let's have some fun in it.
Good stuff, brother, good stuff. Well, Pigeon, always a pleasure, you absolute menace. We will move you back to the audience.
Can I say one more thing?
Go for it. Well, depends on what it is. Depends what it is, bro.
You banned from YouTube now. So.
You know what? Fuck it. Oh, well, you're a bitch. You're a big fat dosser. Your mum gets better.
Are you on the same weight class? Are you the same weight class? Are you on the same weight class out of one?
Yeah,
nah, like same. Everyone does. Okay. Who likes out of war? If you do, mate, you're just a bitch. You know what I mean? I'm expecting Evo. I'm expecting Ali to talk shit about this guy. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be a trend in prime time, just talking shit about this guy. Trust me. Right, anyway, have a good one, boys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, M-Town Finance has just showed up.
Yeah,
M-Town Finance trying to get in.
Yeah, he's been trying to get in throughout. I have sent him half a dozen invites. Once again, M-Town, we will give you a couple of extra seconds, brother, to try and join in. The invites I've sent you, once you've received them, I know that the overlay is in the way. You click off it, you click back onto it, and then you should be able to accept it real quick. Pigeon comes in.
Then,
I apologise, boys, but it's
just some housekeeping. In no way does Primetime support any homophobia or any other slurs that we accidentally said. You said it by accident, but at the same time, what a fight that's going to be. What an interesting sort of like Lucky said, those confidence seems to be quite low. He's just happy to kind of be on the card. I'd be interested to see M-Town Finance's confidence, to see how he is, see what he's got to say about Pigeon.
Yeah, Pigeon definitely made the fight known. He grew up. I mean, his confidence does seem like a bit of an issue, but towards the end of that, he definitely did start to have a good idea of what he wanted to do, what his plan was going to be, and he kind of got an insight into his game plan coming into that fight, which will be on next Saturday.
Oh, that's what I said. You got to have your nerves put aside, because if your nerves will take over, and it will literally affect your fights. So you got to have a mindset of you got to be an absolute killer in there, and then you got to get the job done, and that's what he's got to do.
And I completely agree with Lucky on that. And it's interesting. I've had 4 amateur fights and 3 semi-professional fights, real fights, and I've been slightly nervous for all of those fights, Cyrus. I've had multiple esports fights and been entirely much more nervous for those fights, for the esports events, than I have for actual real fights when we get punched in the face. So, this thing does actually, it turns people into jelly, essentially. You go in there thinking, it's because it's public perception, isn't it? You don't want to lose to a bunch of people that you kind of like and know, whereas in front of a few drunk people, you're not bothered. I think Cyrus might be trying to get somebody in. Or he's left for a second, maybe. I'm not sure, Doc. But everybody requested again. We're going to get some more people in a second, so do not worry. I'm hoping to get Evo.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I think we're probably going to go to Evo versus Kane Winter next. We'll also show our rankings, because that will be getting properly into the top 15 of each division. Everybody ranked in that is an absolute killer, Humble. You've got to admit. Like, yeah,
100%.
Our rankings are stacked. If you get into it, you know you have some skills to pay the bills to cause some absolute havoc in prime time and easily challenge for the belt. That's the difficult thing, because I think you've got to admit, when we were looking to book this card, it was a case of who do we book to actually fight for the belt? Because Trixie and Fad were there, but there was other people with really good win streaks.
Really.
Man's on the +4. Fonty's on a +1, having some killer fights. He's 6-1 in 7 fights. There's a lot of names.
I agree.
I
think the understanding of kind of the booking for Trixie and Fadinator was sort of as much. I believe personally, wholeheartedly, and I think a lot of other people in the community. I think Bossman, and I believe it was is it Fonty? Fonty is essentially built up an amazing win streak, and him and Bossman kind of are up there to fight for the belt, and essentially they might be in the future. But for overall, for PT100, what it stands for, you've seen people like, if you see people like Mango, who's been here since 1, Trixie and Fadinator is the biggest storyline PT's ever had. So to book that for the title for this sort of card felt like the right thing to do just for this one. And I feel like Bossman, Fonty, Drizz, all these guys, when they win these fights, they're going to be up there fighting for a belt, because these guys have been the sort of story of this season, in my opinion, Doc.
Yeah, it really has been. Slight technical difficulties, it seems.
Cyrus's mic's broke on Discord, so we can't hear him. Oh no!
Apparently, you can hear him on.
No.
This is
only
great. Winner's in.
I'm recording a video for Evo because he can't get in.
Oh, nightmare. Evo and sort of Winter, I'm going to try and get him in a second. Cyrus is having some issues with it. 2 seconds while we just check this.
You should be able just to click on the hand, back out of the Discord, come back in. I believe is.
Who knows though with what it's doing though? Who knows what's going on, Doc, with the technical issues we're having at the moment.
There you go. So another invite, Evo. That may work. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. On hey,
there you go. Cyrus, you're back.
I don't know what happened. It was at least my audio was looking like it was coming up on stream. So if you guys just had me going hello while these guys were speaking, I apologize. That is very, very possible.
Messy in here. Messy, but it's good. I like it. It's fun.
I told you this is going to be something different.
I'm gonna say we're going for an hour and a half, give or take.
Again.
We were expecting to make
robot mode.
Half hour, 40 minutes, but it turns out we started this card off with a banger of J-Dime versus Reaper. That was utter hysterics. Neither of them liking each other. Follows quite closely with Kai being the toxic person that fully encapsulating Swaggy.
He's really toxic when people are though. You've got to poke the bear. You know what I mean with Kai?
Here's
you got to poke the bear.
The thing you can respect about Kai is he comes out and admits it and goes and owns it, and that's one of the best things
He's a competitor.
You're going to play this role. You're going to play heel. Just go for it, and it's lovely to see people doing it, because what that does 9 times out of 10, it builds you a better base, because people want to see you lose, so they tune in to see you lose, and then you just disprove them, and then you end up in the title picture 9 times out of 10. It's a brilliant thing to see.
Now my mic is back. I believe that we got the one and only KM Winter in here at the moment. Obviously, Evo is having some difficulties coming in here, but we will hopefully have him joining very, very shortly. Winter, going in your match, but you've been around the scene for a long time now, brother. You've signed over with KM. Obviously, first and foremost, how have you found it since joining KM? Do you feel that there's been any major changes to your game? You've been killing it throughout your entire stay anyway, but I just want to know kind of how you've been settling in over with the Kingsmen.
Oh, I love the KM boys, man. They're just my style. Pabs, he's taught me the art of the sidestep. I love it. They've all got like flamboyant striking. I love it. It's lovely. And I haven't lost in quite a while. I've been beating people up. Like that undefeated guy, he's a bit cocky. I put him down. I'm fighting Evo. He's a good mate. He's nice, but as you see, he's a bit of a low IQ human. You can't even get into the video call.
What do you mean by that? Go into more detail.
I don't think IQ in the cage is gonna be.
Oh, he's here, bro.
Oh,
He's here.
He's here. Now, Evo,
me again. Your
don't
dog
pull a
7 shorts to
Pigeon.
bed. Don't speak to me again. Don't be giving me
You
the
finally got in. You finally got
I'm
in.
gonna
10
be in there
minutes.
like swimwear. You don't speak to me like this. I'm the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. You don't come on about me. Oh, he's got a low IQ. You're stupid. You can't come up to me. You can't come up to
Video
me.
and
You're too fat. You don't fit through a single frame door.
Evo, my man, you've been, much like Winter, you've been around the scene for a very, very long time now. Been putting in work, probably fought the who's who back and forth. This season for you, you are currently running, if I remember rightly, 6-3. Obviously bounced back with a big win in your last performance. Kind of, what steps forwards, kind of, you know, with the... What goes wrong, right, and what goes wrong in your fights? I mean, what do you see kind of going forward into this fight with Winter? Do you think he gives you any problems anywhere, or do you think?
He's not giving me a problem anywhere. What goes wrong is I just fight little sweats, and they're all be nerds. Like, I'd batter them anytime, but like, I'm just better than them. What's the point? I'll let them win, give them pity, because when I'm back, I'm coming for their heads. They'll be praying, begging for mercy.
Evo quite clearly playing the long game, lulling his opponents into a false sense of security by giving them W's. One other thing there, obviously I'd like to kind of throw to with you, Evo. You're now obviously kind of in around that top 10 position, much like Winter. You know, obviously we'll go to Evo first, but same question to Winter as well. How far away do you guys feel like you are from a championship opportunity? And do you guys feel like you're there skill-wise at the moment? Do you feel like you are building, or do you feel like these next couple of fights are kind of to test yourselves to get to that opportunity? Because that top 10, it's the active pool of challengers, and of course, with the experience that you have, I wonder how you guys feel now about potential title opportunities around the corner.
Oh man, I'm definitely at that level. You know, there's a reason this UFC Discord is not my level, and that's because I'm the only one at that level. It's just I haven't been given my chance to shine yet.
Love it. Same question to yourself there. With
PT 100. It's all PT 100, Cyrus. That's your time to shine.
Yeah, and I was at the title one. I fought Fonty, and I just fought the fight completely wrong. And he's a passive player, he's a counter striker. I just kept walking into him. He's not very good. I love Fonty, but he's not very good on the floor. I think I could have done stuff on the floor, but just nerves, really. You know, the biggest stage.
Yeah.
But I'll get back there again. I'm quite close, actually.
Well,
no matter if it's Trixie or Fadinator, again. I've already battered Trixie actually in prime time. I beat him in like 2 minutes. But no one really gets me.
You definitely got some big names under your, in your resume there for sure. For both of you, for that matter, and. Like I said, you are both in that top 10 now. There's a lot of opportunities knocking at the door. You guys will be the second fight of a main card, and there's a lot of fights come Primetime 100. Each and every one of them, the Primetime guarantee continues to reign true. I imagine that you guys, being the veterans that you are, being the entertaining fighters that you are, will live up to all of that and some. But unless Mr. Humbledink or Doctor has anything else, I'm going to throw it across to Mr. Lucky. Yeah, Lucky brother, any questions for these two gentlemen before we let them go?
I do indeed. So Winter, obviously, and Evo, I know both of them quite well. So obviously Toasty's a very good grappler. Winter's a very good striker, in my personal opinion. So Winter, are you going to have a different game plan going into against Evo, considering the fact that Evo is a pure sort of like grappler?
I mean, I've been working on my takedown defense. I've been stuffing takedowns. Like, I think literally for like my whole UFC 4 career, I was denying takedowns wrong. So like, I would just get taken down and I just have to learn to deal with it. So my anti-grappling on the floor is like really, really strong. But now that I can deny takedowns and have the anti-grappling, I don't think Evo will be able to do anything. And then if he stays on the feet, I think we all know how it's gonna go.
Aye, you'll be dead on that canvas. You fucking know that. You're gonna be dead crying for mercy.
Ooh. I do have a question for you, Evo. So you want to kill the man? Sorry. So title is in its grasp. You know, just right there. You know, if this could be a very important win for you going towards in future events. So you are, I think it's number 7th ranked. How are you gonna go into the fight? Are you gonna feel very sort of focused and you know what you want, or are you gonna literally just be a bit nervous going into it? I'm sorry, I messed up.
No.
That's fine. It's a good question.
I'll be loose. Just know this. I'm coming for his head. He will not be able to walk out of there on his own legs. He will be leaving on a stretcher. I'm telling you this. There's going to be an ambulance waiting out back for him before the fight starts.
We're an ambulance match.
An ambulance match.
Oh my god.
How many ambulances now do we have to order for PT100?
Yeah, we got a few ambulances.
I'm telling you, stretchers are going to be needed throughout because these guys are pure violence all of the time. We appreciate you, Evo. We appreciate you, Mr. KM Winter. We will let you jump back into the audience. Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Always a pleasure to speak to those guys. Always a pleasure to call their fights, and I look forward to Primetime 100, and that matchup for sure is going to be a fun one. This is actually a good opportunity before we move into the next one to have a little bit of a look at the the Xbox division on the rankings. We've got the top 15 as a graphic here, Doctor, and as we were just mentioning right there, those two guys find themselves in the upper end of that division. Ranked number 8, Evo, as you can see at the top, currently on a +1. Winter in that ranked number 7 spot, +2, 5-2 overall. Big opportunities for those guys ahead. You can see the names ahead of them. Some of them they've already fought, some of them they've already beat, and with that kind of division right now, the Xbox division, these guys are all neck and neck. The only man that has kind of reigned supreme was the lineal champion in FSK Fadinator, who was kind of stripped for a little while, suspended for a little bit, and now he's back for it.
Silly stuff, but we can't the thing that happened was silly on all parts, but at the same time, from our conversations that we had about Fadinator, it just couldn't happen and miss PT. He's done too much for PT, and we're aware of that. And little things we can get over. We can all get over. We're all men here, essentially, so we can all get over little things, and essentially Fadinator deserves to fight on this card. He's going to fight Trixie. That's going to be absolutely insane, that fight. Ooh. So we do Lilo versus Ali next, because them both have been going at it, and they've been wanting to talk, and Lilo I know is here, Ali I know is here, so we should get them two in. Not bad. Amazing. Fixing Cyrus's mic as we speak if you're hearing on YouTube, because it's Discord's pinned the butt.
Yeah.
So apologies to everybody. He's actually talking, but you can't hear him. Yeah. We're getting Lilo in, and we're going to get Ali deep, and Cyrus has been talking, so we do apologise if you guys can't hear that, but we're getting Ali in and Lilo, so hopefully this is going to work. But Lilo, you got to click. Oh, you know how to do. You did before. The call, it's not working. Lucky, my friend. Lucky.
Hello, sir.
We've got some exciting matchups. Obviously, the start of this press conference was crazy, and we knew it was going to be crazy. We purposely started with J Diamond and Reaper. Throughout the card you've got tonight, and throughout the people who've been talking, is there any fights that really stand out to you that you can't wait for?
I mean, to be honest, there's I don't. What can I say about it really? I mean, there's absolutely like 5-star matchups, right? Like just everywhere. I think the one fight I would love to see is obviously definitely probably my main event really, which would be Trixie versus Fadinator. That's going to be an
5 rounds, by the way.
It is 5 rounds. That fight is going to be an absolute war. But the question is, though, how nervous are they going to be? Because it is a sort of like a #1 contender shot against Kante. So it's the the stakes are right up there. Another fight, I would say. Also, go.
No, I was going to say we've got 2. We've got the right foot, and then we've got Trixie.
We do indeed.
Yeah. We haven't talked about it too much because we don't want to kind of come on a negative note, but we've had shit to deal with all week for PT, with people who are involved, and it's been hard. It's been hard to do it. But we've got 2 great co-main events. I said that both co-main events type of thing, or Cyrus?
Yeah, 100%, brother. My mic is thankfully and hopefully back and working on all goddamn areas of this stream. But you're absolutely right. The main and co-main event is going to be absolutely sensational. And leading into those, we have some fights of absolutely monumental kind of standing in this promotion with Ripe and Buck and Trixie and Fadinator, which we will thankfully get to speak a little bit later on about. But I believe that Mr. Ali 10 is now in the chat, and we're still trying to get Lilo, who had joined and left. This man's back.
Yeah, he's in. They're in. We got 2 people that are fighting each other. Lilo and Ali. Listen, you 2 are fighting each other in an absolute brilliant spot on the card. You're both highly ranked. I'll start with Lilo. What have you got to say about each other? What are you feeling about your matchups, and what's your emotions going into this?
Honestly, I'm pretty confident. He's pretty arse, but I know he's just gonna leg kick me. So all I need to do is hold RT and LT the whole fight. I'll be fine. Simple.
Block low and you good. Ali response.
Any response?
You know what? Respect to Lilo. I'm not gonna talk shit about him. Well, I'm gonna talk shit about his Art of War. Someone I've already beat 30-27 performance.
We knew it was coming.
Decided to talk about you're edging 50, you're playing UFC Ford competitively. Go bobblehead in another league, you fucking freak. Can we get him on comms? I'm trying to talk to this guy one more time.
I'm sure we'll set that up at some point in the near future, brother.
Ali, you're not fighting him. You're going to be fighting Lilo. Lilo's going to be kicking. Lilo said you're kicking his leg and that's it. He said you've got one move.
You're not going to touch his head or his body.
I don't have much to say about him.
Well, obviously similar questions that I asked.
I respect Lilo, bro. No, there's mutual respect.
Yes.
Fair. I mean, you say there's mutual respect. I'll be honest with you. Lilo
I was
going to
say, if someone said that about me.
Yeah.
Said that about me, I'm respectful. The young man kick your legs, no.
Yeah, that young man came out firing on all cylinders, but Ali keeps it respectful. I understand, brother, not a problem. But as we look at that card, as we look at that fight, everything that I said to the previous 2 gentlemen applies to you as well. Ali, you are ranked number 5. You are 6-3 in the promotion. Suffering one of your only losses last time out, and coming into this one, it's a big opportunity. You're going against a guy that in KM Lilo, who has really kind of run through that division at times and built his way up to championship opportunities. I believe you were champion in the past as well.
Most improved as well. Most improved fighter, I believe.
Yeah, okay. So
I fought Trixie for the title, but I failed.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you're somebody that's challenged in the past, and of course, you were the most improved of 2022. So my question here, Ali, is going into this one, brother. Obviously, the pressure's quite considerably on you. You're defending your spot up against not just like new blood, a guy that's been around the scene and has proven to be an incredibly dangerous threat. He thinks that you're going to kick low through that entire fight, and that's your only path to success. What do you really have to say about that? Because of course, I'm sure you're not going to agree with it. You don't think that you're just a leg kick artist, right? I imagine that you believe there's other areas that you're going to be able to take this fight to.
If he wants me to kick low, I'll kick low. If he wants me to body kick, I'll kick his body. If he wants me to grapple, I'll do that, but I don't care.
Fair enough.
How about punches only?
Punches only.
You can do a grab.
Yeah.
Thing match jiu-jitsu.
Ali's going
exhibition,
to
bro.
try Tony Ferguson you and punch you in the leg instead.
It's a big spot though. These two have got big spots, Cyrus, and I'm interested to see what Lucky's got to say to these guys. Always coming up with like the interesting questions. Lucky.
I do indeed. So Ali, you know, the performance machine as of recent in recent weeks, having just fantastic performances in my personal opinion. So you're number 5 in the primetime rankings, with the stakes being so high, considering that you could be in the title shot within the coming moments. Are you going to change your approach going against Lilo?
Just gonna do what I've always done. I'm not gonna change it for him, you know. If anything, I would have changed it for someone else. It's like Drizz, but you know, I'm confident my old plan will always work. Oh, but what are you laughing at? I see you laughing in the corner.
Just you said you change it for somebody else, but not him. That's an interesting comment right there, Ali. So you kind of you know, you said you're not going to disrespect your opponent. You just kind of did.
That's what we like to call a sneak diss right there. That was a sneak diss.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
diss. And I laugh at sneak diss. I like it's a very clever diss, Ali. That's why I'm laughing at. I'm laughing at you. A very clever diss.
Sorry, back
Listen,
to
he
yourself.
dissed me in the first 10 seconds. I had to get my get back. You know?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked it.
Great stuff.
Lucky.
So a question for Lilo as well. So obviously with Ali being ranked more higher than you, obviously you're ranked number 13. Are you ready to shock the primetime universe at primetime 100?
I'm gonna cheese the fuck out. I'll be perfectly honest with you right now. I'm gonna knee elbow spam and clinch spam the fuck out of him. I'm not joking. If you go read the fight channel, after I'm gonna knee elbow you.
So Ali said he's going to be not respectful, like he's going to be nice and respectful. And
Lilo doesn't care.
Do you know what I'll say? I'll say this, Lilo. I think when you got named the most improved fighter, I've seen the biggest leaps and improvements from you as an individual. But also, you have that competitiveness, like you just mentioned. That I'm gonna knee, elbow, spine, things. You'll do whatever it takes to win that fight. And that's what I like about your style.
Thing is, I could probably beat him without it, but I just don't like him. There's just something.
Oh shit!
You just don't like him. That you just want to beat him with tools.
Yes, exactly. I want to make it as painful as possible.
See what I mean, Ali? See what I mean? You said you're gonna be respectful, and you got this on the other end. What are you gonna say now?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I didn't understand half the things he said, bro. I'm gonna need subtitles. I can't.
He didn't like you. He said, "I don't like you, Ali." He said, "I don't like you." What is that? That's not
and he's gonna play in a style to just irritate you more, but just because he doesn't like you.
Well, this is where we will end off for you two guys. I have one last question for you both.
I'm looking for that one.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a fun ass fight. So, going to you first, Ali. What is your prediction come next Saturday? How does the fight go on Primetime 100? Ali 10 v Lilo.
You know what? I'm feeling a round 3 heel hook finish. Maybe be a calf slicer, something flashy. Gonna get performance of the night, knockout of the night. You know what, man? I'm gonna just get a 3-in-1 knockout of the night, submission night, performance of the night.
You're gonna knock him out and submit him all in one. I love to see it. That is how some people have won submission of the year in the past. Get that knockdown, jump on for a submission. Lilo, my man, you're not a guy that likes to go blissfully into the night. What is your response and what is your prediction come Primetime 100?
Second round body KO via knee.
I like it, bro. I like it. Well, thank you once again, lads. Pleasure having you join us here this evening for the press conference. We will move you back into the other section. Oh, I just moved the wrong guy.
That's so funny.
I just moved the wrong guy.
Just moved Lucky. I mean, just got rid of Lucky.
Yeah, I just moved Lucky.
Bring Lucky back.
I'm inviting Lucky back in. I apologize, brother. Lilo is the guy that's requested to speak,
that's so
though.
funny, by the way. That is so funny, by the way. I don't like him. I'm going to cheese him. And then Ali's like, I'm not gonna talk shit. Like, I'm very respectful. Fuck Art of War. Like, it's so like
personality.
But like, it's so cool. Like, Lilo's literally trying to get a bite in a bit, and Ali's just like oblivious to Lilo even talking shit. It's so funny.
Well,
we need to Lucky to. I think he sent a thingy hand. I can see a hand right there, Cyrus.
So no, that's me inviting him. I'll invite him again though. So Lucky, you should be able to join, brother. Same way as last time. I'll continue to invite him. There he is. He's joined us. Welcome back, my man. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Well, looking forward, we have EK Fonty up against, of course, the one and only KM Intro set on this card. Following Ali 10 and Lilo, we got EK Fonty joining us right now as well. I do not believe that Intro is there. No, so we got the one man.
You got the floor. You got the floor, Fonty. You got the floor. You get to go in without him having a defense. It's brilliant.
How's it going, boys?
I'm good, man. How are you, Fonty?
I'm very good.
Pretty good. Not too happy with this matchup. Feel like I should have been higher on this card, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we talked about it. We said it's you, Bossman, Trixie and Fadinator, and obviously the sort of the way it's aligned is Trixie and Fadinator in this one, but I completely understand the frustration. But at the same time, you are fighting a top sort of competitor in Intro. I believe Intro has been one of the guys who's challenged for a title before. Like, are you worried about this at all?
Yeah. I like Intro. He's a cool guy. I'm not going to talk shit. I mean, I am up on him in comp, but definitely have to be careful. He's a good player.
Yeah, for sure, brother. And I want to kind of like touch upon, the matchups you were talking about. You wish, wanted to be further up in the card. And traditionally, as you well know there, Fonty, you have earned those spots and been in many, many kind of upper end of the main card and main events with us in the past. Currently, just to kind of go and have a little look, I suppose, as the X's and O's. Going into this one, you've had a good run this season. You were 7-3. Last time had a difficult matchup. On a -1 at the moment in recent form, and now we're obviously having to. Say again, sorry, bro.
That's not me. I'm 6-1.
6-1? Am I looking? I'm looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, you got the wrong one.
I apologize. 6-1, my man. I do apologize. +1.
I understand why he's frustrated because he wants to fight for that belt and he believes he should. And obviously,
I beat Trixie twice. I beat Trixie twice this season, and he gets that #1 contender fight. He was just ranked 8th and beat the 13th guy, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I've been the #1 contender, only beat the #1 contenders, so.
No, I completely understand your frustration, brother, but like I say, you've had a great season. Currently bouncing back after your only loss with a W last time out. And obviously I know that you are eager to get back into that goal, into the primetime goal, basically, to re-secure that belt that you strongly believe quite clearly is yours and never should have left. So I wanted to ask there, Fonty, looking at an intro, there's obviously a lot of respect on that side. We all know the pedigree of striking that he brings to the table. He is currently riding hot on a 3-fight win streak. As we've asked in the past with some of these other guys, what is the game plan for Intro? As somebody that you're familiar with, as somebody that you respect, what is the game plan coming up to Saturday, if you don't mind sharing it, obviously?
He's a very good striker. I know in comp he's very nervous and he doesn't compete very well. I'm gonna try to outstrike him. If I need to take him down, I will. His grappling's decent, but I fought better competition and won, so.
I have a question for you, Fonty. Essentially, do you think this is a #1 contender fight?
I mean, for me, it should be.
There we go.
What about for Intro?
That's my question.
He wins. He's on a +4.
Yeah, but Fonty's 7-1 if he wins. Fonty's 7-1 if he wins, so I completely understand. The former champion as well did well. And you've been sort of...
Didn't you hold the title really long? I'm trying to remember. I think Fonty made it the longest.
He's been the guy this season. Fonty's been the man this season. I feel like Fonty's slightly disrespected Doctor.
Sorry.
So... No. I feel like he's slightly disrespected, and that comment right there is exactly why he feels exactly disrespected, Doctor, the matchmaker, right there. But what I'm saying, Fonty, is essentially this fight right now that you have got with Intro. Do you win this fight? Because there's no fight above you that are about to go to in a second, Drizz versus Bossman. Do you feel like that fight ahead of you should be disregarded if you win your fight, essentially, to fight for the belt?
I mean, Drizz versus Bossman, that isn't the matchup. Drizz just lost title. I mean, Bossman's right up there too.
Yeah, he is.
So I mean,
yeah,
it's probably between me, Bossman, and either Fat or Trixie, like you were saying.
Yeah, well,
they're fighting for it, aren't they?
Yeah,
so whoever
so-
wins that, then you guys next. So it's essentially between you and the winner of Drizz and Bossman. But this could potentially, what my point was, is that if you win this fight impressively, I don't really understand how anybody Cyrus can go,
Yeah, no, he's
that record of 7-1.
We spoke about this a little bit off air before we
Yeah, we
started
did.
the stage.
That's why
we did. And these guys up next, as Fonty came in, there are kind of we've made our case for our arguments, but we understand what Fonty is saying and why obviously he would like to be in those higher positions, and ultimately coming into this fight with Primetime 100, this is, although not the opportunity that you would kind of ideally want, the next best thing, which is that you win this fight and you win it in an impressive fashion. You find yourself in an opportunity position, to get that gold back. It has been an absolute pleasure to watch your kind of absolute rise throughout this season, getting to that gold and doing the things that you have, Fonty. So while we have you on the presser, I wanted to say, the performances have been sensational. I look forward to calling your fight on PT 100. Whatever happens PT 100, we know that when EK Fonty steps into the cage, especially against somebody like Intro, it's going to be one of those historic matchups. So before we kind of let you get back to your day, brother, we are going to go once again to the man, the myth, and the legend that set him behind. We didn't get him set up on cameras, unfortunately, but we got lucky, brother. Any questions for the one and only EK Fonty, former champion?
I do, and I think I have a good one, but it might not be a good one because it might be a silly question. So you had your title loss in the past, 2 fights. How much has that affected you in your game plan and your fighting style? And what are you going to add from your last win? Against Intro.
Well, coming off of the loss against Drizz, it is Drizz. He's one of the best players right now. I performed pretty well. I definitely need to get a little dirty in there when I need to. I can't just continue trying to strike clean if it's not working. So that's pretty much my game plan moving forward, is just to adapt a little better.
Do you feel like when you're fighting those guys that are like the elite level, that you show them a bit too much respect sometimes?
Yeah, it could be that. I mean, I know I'm just as good as them, but yeah, it's definitely they're just hard fights no matter what.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially right now, this is one of the things, you mentioned it earlier out there as well, Humble, especially when, this community is very, very tight-knit, where everything within these sorts of, not just ourselves, the ESFL, everybody else, it's a grassroots sort of thing that we're building here. Of course, we're building to bigger and better things, and further down the line, a lot of these opportunities are going to come for the guys like this who have been grinding in the background. But EK Fonty has come onto a run this season, has really put it all together, has always been an entertaining fighter, but performances as of recently quite clearly has elevated to a next level. So once again, Fonty, thank you very much for your time here, brother. We're going to let you get back to it, and we are going to bring up the next one, which is Bossman. He don't actually have his opponent in here, so I don't feel like Drizz is here from my eyes, but we will get Bossman
Similar to exactly who we just talked about, Fonty, though. I'm guessing Bossman's got a similar sort of similar sort of role in this. Brilliant positions in prime time, but these guys have done so well over the season, and we've got to remember, Doctor, what Bossman did last season. Right before Grand Prix, he wins the belt. He goes in there, essentially shocks the world, and then becomes champion. Gets a couple of title defenses, and then he fights Fad in the Grand Prix, and obviously Fad is one of the best in the world, and obviously his mentor as well at the time, which was amazing. So, he doesn't do as well, but he wants to come back and dominate the season, just like Fonty, who's been, for me, one of the guys this season. Bossman wants to be that guy as well.
Yeah, Bossman definitely does want to be that man. He's on a +4. If he beats Drizz, a former title challenger, gets it in there, then it's going to be a difficult one to make. Some would argue it's between Bossman, it's between Fonty, so the Xbox division after Primetime 100 is definitely going to be, who knows what's going to be happening, and it's going to be an interesting time to see where everybody ends up in the rankings. So with that being said, Bossman, what's your game plan when coming to fight against someone like Drizz? Your same camp, he's a former champ.
Teammate,
yeah, teammate, no.
Yeah. I've got a lot of fights with Drizz. You know, I've got like 400 fights nearly, I'd say.
Jesus,
And,
Jesus Christ! Who wins the majority of them? First of all, before I go anywhere, who wins the majority of the fights, boss man?
You know, he's up on me, but yes, we fought twice in competition. And I won both times. You know, money on the line, $100 on the line. I won that one, and then we fought in the.
When it matters.
Yeah,
so when it matters, you're
matters.
undefeated.
Yeah, that's what I do. You know, I show up when it matters, and I win the fight.
Interesting. I know we've talked to you. I've talked to you about. Go, Doc.
I was going to say Drizz is also coming off a Lotte Kante, an unexpected one. You got to remember that Drizz was up on him.
I have a question actually about that, Doc. Exactly what you're just saying right there. I want to ask Bossman about that. Bossman, what did you make of Drizz and Kante fight?
I think that was an unlucky one. You know, you get caught that early on, and it's hard to recover from, and he just got caught early, and that's what happens.
Not the best version of himself. Didn't block the body because he didn't think he was going to go 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
You think that's kind of the case? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, it was just
and
an
obviously
unpredictable combo.
You've had like multiple, like you said, you've fought each other like 400 times. How do you think that like helps you out as your game plan kind of going into the fight with him? Like I know he doesn't matter in the spars, he's up and down essentially, but it helps you understand what you're kind of up against when you fight him in comp.
Yeah, and you know, it's good to know like how someone fights before you get in there with them. So I guess that helps, yeah.
No shit talk. We're not going to get any shit talk to this now because the teammates it's going to be hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
No
Look, these guys are going to be respectful. The FSK bunch are a tight knit bunch.
They're good. They're one of the best camps.
They're not always nice guys to their opponents, but they are definitely a tight bunch of guys, right?
If I was fighting someone like EK Fonty, you know, someone like that, a little chicken who runs away, you know.
Okay.
Someone like that.
We should have got you two on together, to be honest with you. That should have been it.
Yeah, we probably should have done.
But boss man,
we're having fun this season, actually.
Yeah, honestly, I'm enjoying this. I think we'll do these things more often. Obviously, we'll continue to build on it. First time tonight, so we appreciate all you guys sticking with us, both in the chats and, of course, the guys who are going to be on the show in the press conference. I know that I said this was going to run 30 minutes, but we're having too much goddamn fun to end it right here.
All time 2 hours, he was like, no.
20 minutes, yeah. No. Hitting the 2 hour mark now, we're still going and it's still being enjoyable. I mean, congratulations to competitors doing this. You've showed up, you've talked to trash, you've made your points. You've definitely given us content else to add to upcoming videos and highlights that are planned to be released over the course of the next week. So, yeah.
I do have one last thing.
Lucky. Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, I was a little bit, I was sorting out a little bit, so that obviously I missed, and I'm sorry if this was asked already, but Bossman, obviously you're on a +4 right now, okay? So between yourself and, of course, EK Fonty, you two guys are kind of the ones that we're looking at for Primetime 101, or, you know, for the title whoever ends up with that big performance. Now, I know that there's no love lost between yourself and EK Fonty, but going into this matchup, because it is against a teammate, and because you are looking for or you need a big performance here to be able to put yourself in that run-in to take that fight away from EK Fonty, how do you think that that's going to, really impact you in terms of being able to kind of take it to that nasty level, to not just have a good fight, a fun fight, like a sparring session? How do you separate that in your mind, going up against a teammate, when you know that you don't just need a win, you need an impressive performance against, a guy that you're friendly with?
Oh yeah, it's just about getting through the fight. Just doing what I've always done. The only losses I've taken this season is to Fadinator, and I've beat all the Americans. EK mix-ups, was it? Intro. Don't even know the rest of them, but I took all them out. So.
Well, boss man, I'll say very, very similar, brother, to what I was saying to EK Fonty. It has been a pleasure to see you on this meteoric rise under Primetime's banner. You've been doing great work inside that octagon, and we eagerly wait to see you and, of course, your teammate in FSK Drizz step in that octagon. Two of the better guys on the Xbox division, and of course, I know that you are eagerly anticipating proving that you are not only one of the best, but you want to prove yourself as that best. So before we let you go, we are going to chuck it across to the one and only Lucky. Any questions for this man, Boss Man, before we let him go?
I do indeed. So you and Drizz probably know each other more than anyone in the scene. What are you going to adapt going into the fight with Drizz? And what are you going to change up, knowing that he absolutely knows what your style is, how you fight, how are you gonna overcome what he knows?
I just have to keep it fresh, keep the combos fresh. Fighting Drizz, he's someone who he brings the fight. He's not like a little runaway chicken like EK Fonty or EK Mix-Ups that I've fought in the past. he'll come and he'll bring the fight, and that's the type of fight that I want.
Loving it, brother, loving it. Anything else before we let him go there, Lucky bro?
I have one more. Are you going to show any mercy towards Drizz, knowing that he's your teammate?
No, absolutely not. If they breathe oxygen, it's fair game, as they say.
That's cool.
I love it. Well, Boss Man, we appreciate your time, brother. The mentality of it, if it can bleed, you can kill it. It's exactly what you need going into Primetime 100. And well, like I said, there's bright things on the horizon for you if you continue to put on performances like you have been. So good luck come Saturday or week today, of course. It's gonna be a fun one, and yeah, brother, stay frosty. We look forward to seeing those silky combinations that you've been speaking about. With that being said, we will then, Mr. Homelton, Doctor, my man Lucky.
Oh my!
Move on.
Here
to
we go.
The next one, bro. It is going to be between, and let's be straight up here, okay? Of course, we're going to set up TT Shoot in a moment. TT Shoot been bursting on the scene, currently 3-0, but he is going up against truly one of the best in the business, period. A man that is known as the PlayStation GOAT, and he's known that for a goddamn reason. Has set so many title defenses, has put together run after run, and speaking to him recently, I know that he is not overly thrilled with the decision, of course, of the no contest in the last matchup with the bobblehead side of things, but he is taking this fight very, very seriously. So I want to go to you, Shoot, as we're trying to get Smudger in here. Shootbox, you have burst into the scene. You are the new blood under the Primetime PlayStation division. And with that undefeated record, your confidence must be at an all-time high riding into this card. How do you assess your skills and how it's fallen, in Primetime MMA, and whether or not you have kind of had the tests that you need going up against Smudger in this fight? How do you see it going, brother? Confidence-wise, the opponent that you have, basically, this may be your biggest kind of test here. How are you feeling, and everything else kind of going into this?
I'm feeling ecstatic, and peace to everybody on the show. Appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Pleasure, brother. Pleasure. Like I say, my man, Smudger is truly, somebody that's put it all together. There's not really many guys who have been able to set the type of accomplishments. Do you think this is the toughest test that you've had to date there, my man?
Yeah, this will be the toughest test. I always wanted to fight Smudger. He's always been one of them guys in the back I always wanted to fight. Generation to generation, I've been playing this game for a long time, and I've been fighting different type of top level players. So to be in prime time to fight one of, if the best in prime time, and knowing his back steps and his way of gameplay, I think I have a solid game plan to crush it.
Great stuff. I mean,
I want to jump in. You get Smudger in here while I talk. Me and Shoot have been friends for a long time, right? So me and Shoot know each other for a long time. I know you said he's new blood to Primetime. He's not new blood to competition, Shoot. I know you're a humble man. You're a very, very humble man. But I will say you are one of the toughest people I've ever fought in the community. You've taught me more than anybody. Showed me some things I've never seen before, and we're not even on the same team. So I know you're an intelligent sort of IQ player. I know you relish this opportunity against a top competitor because you want to show what you can do. So who have you been training with going into this one, and how are you going to be approaching this, challenging someone like Smudger?
I've been training with CV because he's for Smudger, so that's the thing that you need to do is fight somebody that's for him. That's one. And I have another guy on my back. I can't really say, but he can intimidate. He can copy the way Smudger fights, so that'll help me get into like distant management. And man, I'm telling you right now, this reminds me of like a Hamzat versus Usman. Like, it just gives me chills. I can't wait. You don't even know.
No, I know you're excited for this fight. It's a good fight as well because you're 3-0 at the moment. Smudger has said as well, like openly, he feels like he deserves the title shot because he won his last fight, but there was some controversy with some of the issues there, so obviously it didn't happen. And then obviously fighting you right now, I believe this is an opportunity for you to kind of shock a lot of people in prime time that don't know yourself, and it's going to be absolutely crazy. I think we're having some trouble with getting Smudger in right now, Cyrus, if I'm correct, but
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother, I'm telling you right now, I look forward to seeing this guy. I spoke to him very, very recently for the first time. Shoot, you have been on a rise right now, 3-0, right? I'm expecting big things. I hear a lot of good from you when I speak to the likes of Humble and everything else, and obviously that undefeated side, that kind of confidence that gives with you, is going to really, really help, I would imagine, kind of coming into this one. If there is any issues, we're hopefully going to get you and Smudger both on the call at the same time, and that will open up just a little bit. But one area I was really going to say is kind of coming in, the undefeated side of things. How important is that to you, brother? I mean, obviously, I know that you want the PlayStation Gold, but it's one thing to kind of get there. It's another thing to do so undefeated. Very, very few, if anybody, has been able to do that before, except maybe Smudger and maybe CB, funnily enough, those names being mentioned. That undefeated record, I'm imagining that you want to keep that all the way to the belt. Is there anybody maybe outside of Smudger here that you see that may be giving you troubles? I imagine that you're very active, so you've seen the community. But who do you see at the top end that could give you troubles, if any?
I only see probably 2 people that can give me a problem. Far as because I came in here to have a good time, but if I come here to kill, then that's a different type of beast, So, far as let's see, it's very hard. CV, yeah.
So if you win this fight, if you win this fight, you're 4-0, and essentially you might be fighting the guy who's helped you prepare for this fight.
Yeah, that can be one. I mean, before Smudger, I wanted to fight Kai, to be honest with you, because he has claimed to have the best Shemai at one point. But then y'all said Smudger, and that's just an immediate jump for me. So, like I said, for competition, I see 2 people that can cause a problem, but it's depending with Smudger too, because I don't think anybody's take Smudger to deep water as far as grappling. Took him because I know he's a championship fighter level. So I don't know how many rounds is this.
It's 5.
It's 5.
You guys, the number one contender fights both for 5-round fights. So you, Vuk, Yaman, and Ripe, and you and essentially Smudger will both have 5 rounds to do.
Are they? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
No,
I thought that was agreed.
It was the Trixie and Fadinator and Ripe and Buck for 5 rounds.
Right, this is the one before. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry. I just ruined everything. I do apologize.
No, it's cool.
No.
Oh, I was going to say...
it will be 3 rounds. You are looking at possible title implications, either one of you, if you win this. I mean, a win over Smudger for you would be massive. You as you are. You're undefeated, and going undefeated with a win over Smudger, that's not something many people can do. I think CV is the only one who's currently undefeated with a win over Smudger. But I think other people who have fought for the belt, beat the B3 boys, they've got wins over Smudger. But I mean, Word Life is on the card later. Before.
It's virtually a number 1 contender fight, is what Doc's trying to say. It's a number 1 contender fight. So if you guys win this fight, essentially you might be fighting your teammate.
Well, that's intense. Well, I helped CV fight against Smudger. I will agree to say Volk is another person that can cause a problem, because I am a grappler, a guard player, and he's very good at the top game, and he's been improving. Ripe has been improving also, and I also see Word Life, and that's it. Like, I don't really see anybody else as, if I was to go grapple, that's going to handle that.
Not repro J Don.
No, I love J Don, but you know.
I'm glad we can't get Smudger. We try to get Smudger for about 20 minutes or 10, 15 minutes, but
I promise you,
some problems.
I promise you, before the end of the night, we will be hearing from Smudger one way or another. You know, he needs to be heard from. So what we'll do there, Shoot, is we're going to go to the one and only Lucky for a moment, see if he has any questions for you individually, and then we may move on for a second. But I have an idea of how to get this sorted, even if we have to hit a quick interlude before we close out this. So, Lucky, do you have any questions there, my man, before we allow Shootbox to jump off?
Of course. So, as someone that came into the UFC 4 community quite late, probably like 6 or 7 months, I've never seen you fight before. So I would like to know, who is Shootbox? What is your style? What do you do in your fights? How do you show who Shootbox is? No, I would love to know.
Well, as far as my style is grappling, but I can fight everywhere. Far as like competition wise, like I fought in several other leagues. Fought here also. I fought Dino Gamer. He was a very good grappler. One of the best that I fought in grappling. I fought in OFC in different leagues, but what people to expect from me is a high advanced level of grappling and a high advanced level of footwork to be able to take away from my opponent's range and break them down.
Yeah, I was going to jump in for you. Because I can describe your fighting style, and it is pretty much very much CV. It is pretty much very much what you see in CV, but a very high intensity in grappling as well, and you will not shy away from that area and will dominate people if you can in that area as well. So that for me is your style shooting. A very good fight high IQ. You will mix it up on people. You're very much a coach, is what I would like to add to that.
I appreciate that. To be honest, I'm holding my punches right now because Smudger's not here, so.
I know.
Respectfully.
It's glory because maybe we could do something, but Smudge wants to say something, you want to say something. We can't get you in it tonight.
Listen, can we do like a Smudger? Like I can talk here if it's not working and do like a word for text.
Yeah, maybe. I know Smudger's got shit to say. I know he's got shit to say. I know you got shit to say, you know. I don't think, like Lucky said right there, I don't think Smudge is fully
I tell you what, lads, we're going to do, okay? Just because, obviously, for everybody, you know, on the stream, you may not know, we're using a little bit of a different thing in Discord, which is called the stage. It allows you to bring people on and off, and it seems to be having some issues getting people onto the main stage. Now, we only have a couple people left here this evening who are left to speak. So what I am going to do very, very briefly is if those guys can jump across into the Primetime MMA hangout for us. We're going to switch across there real quick. We're going to take a quick 20-second interlude, and we will be back with you to continue. We'll get Smudger in, we'll get Shootbox in real quick. Give us 30 seconds, and we'll be back with the closing end of this press conference.
Love it.
All right, we are back. Primetime 100 press conference. We switched across the channels. Hopefully, if we go to this screen right here.
Smudge, are you there?
It's not set up quite yet.
It's okay. It's okay, so Smudge, are you there?
What's happening?
What have you got to say, Smudger? What have you got to get off your chest right now?
Well, no, I'm kind of pissed off, you know, because I got robbed of that main spot, but I'm just going to come for a minute.
You heard shoot as well. You heard talk. What have you got to say to shoot?
Well, I don't even know much about him, to be honest. I just know he's just there. He's just a body. Like, it's going to be done in one. That's it. It can try and sweep my leg all he wants, but it's going to be done in one.
Shoot.
If this is a 5-round fight and you think this is going to be over in one round,
it's 3 shoot. It's 3 out. It's 3. It's 3 rounds. Sorry,
okay.
It's 3 rounds. I fucked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's 3 round fight. It is.
All right. Well, that's
We've
cool.
got 4 5-round fights already on the card. I politely, as much as we would love to give all of you 5 rounds.
No, it's not 5 rounds. I apologize. I fucked up. I've been drinking Jack Daniels. It's my fault.
That's okay.
3 rounds. 3 round shoot. Can you still work with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I work with any rounds. I'm flexible. Far as you, Smudger, what you talking about ending me in the first round? I doubt that. For one, and two, I know about you. We fought before. I fought you in the old season of rank, but like this is a completely different game now. So I respect you. Don't get that wrong. I always like promoting you at the same time, but like I'm on prime time now, and like this is the time where I want to shine. So if I'm gonna shine, I gotta take you out, and I see that in 3.
I want to about take that because I'm the best in the PlayStation division. So who else are gonna say it? And let's be honest, I don't really care about you. You're just a phone call. I want to fight Buff again because, you know, the only reason he's got that main event spot is because he's fucking asset. He's a bitch. We could get him in here right now, but he's a fucking bitch.
Shoot, sorry, Smudger, I have a question for you. Essentially, you're fighting CV's teammate. That is who you fight. Someone who helped CV prepare for you in his last fight, which currently you and CV are 1. And now you're fighting Peace, who essentially helped Smudger helped CV defeat you in the last fight, the way it is. And you have an opportunity right now to kind of send a message to CV as well as like beat Peace. Well, what do you think about that?
Well, CV knows what's up, to be honest. He wants to fight. He knows that's the main event. Like, that's the best fight in the PlayStation division. Like, these guys, they're going to fight for the main event spot. Fucking shit. Who are these guys? I've stunned them both. They're both my bitches, like.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if anything happens from the fight and you fight CV, he's gonna smash you again. But he made you look bad that last fight. I'm gonna be honest with you. And
no excuses whatsoever. The pick. I didn't think about my pick and all, but he did well. But I'm gonna hope he's gonna have to do that well next time. He's gonna get smoked. I could do the third time, remember last time? I smoked him 4 rounds to 1.
So okay, so you did that. That was what, the first fight, and that you got dirty. I admit that, but we came up with a game plan. Then what happened after that? Why was you on the floor crushed up like that? What happened to your stamina?
We all learn from our mistakes, man, don't we?
Absolutely.
I do have. Go on, Smudge. My apologies, brother. You gotta finish off what you're saying.
To be honest, yeah, you're gonna have to hope you can hold me down, bro. Because that your Romero pick, he ain't got the gas tank, bro. You're gonna be out in 1, trust me. I pick that Costa pick, I'm gonna fucking KO you straight.
Okay.
The Costa versus Romero, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's go.
Humble no.
What is it, sorry? What is it?
I said, you know what happens when I pick Romero, and it's gonna be a different type of ball game. Like I don't see how you think this is gonna end in 1. Like again, I respectfully think that, but if you think you're gonna beat me in the first round, you ain't gonna have no cardio, and I'm gonna make you look worse than what CV did to you.
Tell me who's ever made me look like a fish on the ground? No one. Well, there's one guy. He shot for his life, and he's lucky that they want an extra round in there. That's gold. He's a bitch as well. I couldn't fight him again. He's a bitch. All these guys try to shoot, but they ain't so fast. What are you going to do? You're just going to keep shooting, you ain't going to get it, and I'm just going to knock it.
Right. If you think I'm going to keep shooting takedowns, if you keep thinking I'm gonna shoot takedowns, you're gonna be in a bad place, bro. Because I got hands too, bro. This footwork is real. And just because you can do your little back step means nothing. Because if you think you back step, I'm gonna head kick you.
I'm gonna hump for that.
You will never be able to back step.
Okay, we'll see. What? Right here, right now, the big thing, you can't be a step left top tail.
So before we end you two guys, I need to ask something. I need to ask Lucky if he's got a question for Smudger.
I do have a question for the one and only Smudger. Smudger, so from my recollection, you know, when I've been doing these ratings, you have been like up there for the most amount of Fight of the Nights, and also you've had a very good amount of performances. So I have a question about the no contest. How much has that affected you going into this fight, and how much did you want that fight with CV to go into the trilogy fight?
Oh, that was a hard one. After I beat Volk, I whooped his ass. I messaged CV straight away and I said, me and you can't come injured. He said, yes, no problem. This bitch was messaging all the athletes and everything. He should be thankful. Should be so thankful he got that fight. That's what only way was gonna get him more contender because he's shit. I could fight all these guys in one night and then get the title shot and beat CV.
I actually have a... Sorry, Lucky, I'm sure you have one more as well there, brother, and I'm just going to throw it back to you in 1 second. I had a question I wanted to kind of get off my chest before I forget, and that is, as we look forward, we've got a lot of possibilities coming up. Okay, sorry, I'm going to switch across. We've got one too many people joining this call, kind of changed up the camera, so rather than seeing us all squished, I'll just go back to the screen. But the question, and it's the same question to both of you. Smudger, shoot, we'll go to you first there, Smudger. Obviously, I know this isn't what you wanted to see happen in terms of being in this position, but looking forward, there's obviously, come the end of Primetime 100, going to be either CV, Ripe, or Vuck as the champion. Who do you want as the champion, brother? Come the end. Who do you want to be fighting? If you get past Shoot in this fight, who is the ideal matchup?
He's gonna win. CV's obviously gonna win. It's a sacrificial lamb, them guys. They're fucking shit. One guy, I think right, respect to right, innit? Respect, yeah, but Buck, I've beaten 3 times in time. He's my bitch. He should hold my pocket, to be honest. Respectfully, he should hold my pocket.
Can't we get Ripe and fucking?
Oh, damn. Same question to yourself over there, Shoot, brother. In an ideal world, who would you like to be fighting for the title come Primetime 101 if you're able to get past Smudger?
Very fine consciousness.
I mean, if I would like to fight Volk, to be honest with you, because I would definitely want to put a point on if I do have to fight CV. That's something I have to talk about with CV first, to be honest with you. But I do want to say this before anything, though. I like this press conference. Everything y'all do on this platform is dope. Like, I really appreciate just being on this card, by the way, just to say it again.
No, we appreciate you, brother. And same with yourself, Smudger. I'm going to chuck it one more time to Lucky. I know that you had something else to go, brother. Sorry for interrupting you, but what are your final questions there, my man?
I've got one more question, and it's quite a very simple question, and it goes to both people. Smudger, Shoebox, are you ready for war?
Well, I'm not sure what to say. He's gonna get smoked first round, trust me. Back step, left hook, KO. And Humble's gonna love it. He's gonna love it.
Okay. Steve, go on, Shoot. Tell us what you think.
He's gonna underestimate my striking, and it's gonna lead to his downfall. And if I get him on the ground, he's gonna never be controlled like he's done by me. I promise you. Finish him.
I can't wait for this fight.
I can't.
You've never been controlled the way I'm going to do you.
That one position on the game is better, yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm going to do that. And if you mess up, I'm going to tap you. It's either way. You're gonna. You said the backstab, right? Humble. I'm gonna take a look past that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you how to kill your game plan. I'm gonna show you. I did film work. Trust me.
Yeah, you better do some work. You better, because I might even take you down once you say no. I might just humble you a bit, you know.
Prove me wrong.
I was with you can't left me. I take you down again. Very safe.
Okay, let's see if you get past that first yourself. You gotta remember, you say you're gonna take me on one. It takes a lot to do that. But I'm gonna leave it at that.
Listen. You boys could have your own press conference, and I will go in a bit more detail about this one. But we're gonna have to give because we've got the Cummins and the essentially main event to come up. But this Smudger versus Shoebox potentially might be for the #1 contender fight for the main event.
It
on
is.
PT1. It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
PT100. This fight is going to be insane.
100%, brother. I cannot wait to see it. These guys, top end of the division for a goddamn reason. And although I have not called as many of Shoebox's fights as I have Smudger's, I can tell you one thing: I am eagerly anticipating this bout in every single possible way. I know that Shoebox is a legit threat. Smudger is obviously riding his confidence at an all-time high. And after a recent conversation, just to kind of peel back and go look at the fourth wall, if you will, me and Smudger had a conversation recently about kind of what's happening in Primetime MMA, where he's going from here, and I know that this guy's motivated and hungry to get that gold back. So obviously a motivated Smudger is a difficult Smudger to beat, and Shootbox seems like he may be up to the task to give us one of the best fights in Primetime history. Cannot wait for it to go down, but we, as you rightly said there, Mr. Humbledink, we have a couple more left to go, and the next one we don't have Trixie, unfortunately, and honestly it would have been absolutely something else if we did, but
he's busy.
Yeah, I know. Those things happen, right? Those things happen, but of course Trixie needs a little introduction anyway. If you don't know who Trixie is, he is the Xbox GOAT for a goddamn reason. Most title defenses in a row. Nobody's beaten it. People have come close. Smudger, for example, came very close, and I know that that's one that he wants to beat, but he holds that record. And I know that Trixie, after some tough times recently, has been bouncing back, started to mount a bit of a comeback. And you know, let's be straight up, he is now going to be going into what has historically been one of his toughest fights, and that's up against FSK Fadinator, the man that's been leading the path for the FSK boys, undefeated in this season. So Fadinator, if you want to unmute your microphone there, brother, going to you on this one. This is, of course, the quadruple, or whatever it is at this time. You guys have fought each other a very, very large amount of times over the seasons. This bout with Trixie, how are you seeing it going, man? Because I'll be honest, you seem like a different beast. You seem remotivated. Do you think that this is a completely different bout to what the previous has been?
He's still muted.
Yeah, he's still muted.
Fad's still muted. Fad, don't mute your mic. But I want to jump in before he comes in and just talk about the history of this. Fadinator and Trixie. I know he's gone now. I'll quickly. He might have gone away and come back, but quickly run through it. So Trixie and Fadinator have been the two biggest beasts in the last 2 seasons. That's almost 2 years of prime time that I've been here. Trixie and Fadinator, but even before I was here, been fighting each other, going backwards and forwards. And Fad, I know you're here now. There was a point in time when Trixie and you were going at it, and you couldn't get past the mark. You couldn't quite beat him, and then you did. You overcome that hump, and you started beating him on a regular basis. How are you feeling going towards this fight? Because at the moment you've got all the momentum.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling confident. You know, he's been losing to some proper shitters recently. I don't even know who he lost to, but you know, I'm the man at the moment. Let's be real here. The show, like, it couldn't have been done without me, could it? But like, come on.
We said it couldn't. We said it couldn't, Fad. We knew he couldn't, you know. And the Trixie Fadinator, like the sort of history is kind of told in many sort of videos. But this fight itself, how do you feel like it's gonna go?
I think I'll probably just, you know, whatever, really win with ease, like on the feet, on the ground, whatever. I'll just do my thing and, you know, be able to matches.
And I'll throw it aside.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Fad, obviously we know what happened, you know, in the past, but you are, as I mentioned, undefeated at this stage in Primetime MMA with a big W if you're able to get it done over Trixie. As I was about, you know, kind of you're going to be going up against Kante. What do you make of Kante so far? What do you make of him as a champion in your absence? And do you think that he serves you any problems, you know, if you do make it past Trixie?
Honestly, no. But I do think he's very disrespected as a champ. Because he got some good wins to get there. You know, he beat Drizz and Caliber. Obviously, Drizz is probably, I'd say, the second best other than myself, like, at the moment. So, obviously, the fact he beat Drizz, like, fair play. But, I mean, once I get through Trixie, I mean, and then you'll see the record of me and Kante, you'll probably start laughing. It's, you know, one of the dodgy records I have on there, people.
Guys, okay. Doc, do you have anything before we chuck it to the man Lucky?
I mean, you went 6-0, then you went through this period of not being around in the comp scene as much of PT. You've got to get through Trixie first. That's going to be a momentum in itself. Then Kante, and if you do manage that, who would be your next person you're going to be looking at?
Probably, if Bossman wins his fight, definitely him. But if he loses, I'd like to fight Fonty. I know he's been doing quite good this season, but I think I'll definitely beat him with ease, like everybody else. So, yeah, one of them two.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Lucky, anything for the man, the myth, and truly the goddamn fucking legend, Fadinator, before we let him go?
I do. So, Fadinator, one of the best of all time. Trixie, one of the best of all time. This is going to be a 5-round fight. Are we expecting fight of the year?
No, I think it'll be 2 one-sided. It'll be fight of the year, to be honest. I think maybe we'll start off a bit slow, but as momentum, like, it'll start to go my way and I'll just start dominating. It'll probably be done within 3 rounds. It just won't be, like, there won't be enough action of, like, either fighter for a B fight either.
Interesting.
Very
interesting.
I'd like to hear Trixie's
yeah, he's been away at the moment. Trixie just messaged me saying I can't be there right now. I wish I could, but Trixie Fadinator is the greatest rivalry in PT history, and we will pull some footage of that and put it on YouTube as well, because you guys have cemented yourself in, like, almost legendary status in what you guys have kind of done. And I feel like that's kind of the reason for the matchmaking in this one. Like you said, the Bossman and Fonty both on the rise as well, and it's going to be incredible, Cyrus. But Trixie and Fadinator have done more for Primetime than I have, or anybody else, essentially.
Yeah,
I do. Amazing stuff.
I feel like once again, we mentioned this briefly before we started doing all of this here this evening when we went through the matchups. Another reason that obviously this matchup kind of came together is that these guys, they you know, early on they've been with us, and both of them have gone from, you know, kind of young men to proper men. You know, over that time they've matured both in the cage and out of the cage. They've put together sensational performances over the years, and put together the best fights in our history. Let's be real. They've put on the best rivalry, and ultimately on that Xbox division, in a time where people were kind of going 50-50 back-to-back and whatever else, they separated themselves from the rest of the pack, and they forced everybody to level up their game, because if they wanted to compete with them, they had to level it up. And once again, Fadinator recently, and Trixie, who is attempting to do the same thing, has leveled up, and Fadinator's been leading the pack right now. He separated himself from everybody. He's 6-0. He is the lineal champion, and I know that he's hungry to get that belt back. So he's going to have to go through an old foe in Trixie. It's a shame that he isn't here to talk his own game here this evening. I know that he is a confident man that likes to fight in the flow, and he will relish the opportunity to beat what many herald as the best on the Xbox division. So yeah, much appreciated, Fadinator. We look forward to seeing that bout on Primetime 100 and calling Fadinator beat Trixie for maybe one last time as we set up one of the biggest cards in our entire history. Wouldn't be right if we didn't have Fad beat Trixie for PT 100, giving the historic value that those guys had over the time. With that being said, we will skip across to the next one. We've got Ripe and Buck in this chat, I do believe.
Yeah. They've been waiting patiently for ages as well, these guys. I mean, what an opportunity these guys have, Cyrus, to kind of blow the roof off the place.
So, welcome on, Ripe. Welcome on, Buck. If you want to unmute your microphones there, my guys, obviously you will be able to speak. It has been a a long old road for you two guys. I'll go to you first, Ripe. You, in the previous seasons, kind of had a bit of a hit and miss, brother. A bit of a hit and miss, and then you came into the end of 2022, won in a big way with that submission of the year. And honestly, since you've looked like a different fighter, you've been absolutely destroying people left and right. And obviously, it's a big opportunity for you here to, if you get the victory over Vuck, to get in with that another chance at GOAT.
Yeah, so pretty much since my last loss, I decided, you know what, next time I get the title shot, I'm not going to lose this time because if you don't know off the top of your head, I fought Smudger for my last title shot. I lost, and before that it was Leon Souls. That was a long time ago. Shout out to Leon. But yeah, I've learned a lot, and I've also been at the top, and you know, I actually was on a 3-fight win streak before I lost to Smudger, but after that loss, I decided, like I said, I'm going to get that title shot again. I'm not going to lose this time. So, Buck, respect to Buck and everything, but I feel like it's my time, and third time's a charm at the title shot, so, you know, I'm not going to mess it up this time.
I love it. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure you will echo my statements out here, Humble, right? As in one of those guys, when we talk about revolutionizing, their game and being in the prime of their career, I feel like in this situation, Ripe definitely fits that character mold. And another man that we could say that about is obviously Vuck, who is also in this chat right now. Vuck, you have had some setbacks over the years, much like the same. You have had, I believe, you won Most Improved of 2022 as well, brother. Then went on to win the belt in very short kind of stance after it. It's been great to see you refocused and remotivated. Obviously, I know that there was the no contest in the last one, and as a result, you are currently on a 5-fight win streak. 5 out of 5. After a difficult start to the season, going 0-2, what was the kind of recipe to getting you into that form? You know, basically, what made you bounce back, and kind of how do you see this going up against a dangerous Ripe who is similar to yourself, been on a killing spree up until now? You are muted, by the way, Vuck, if you don't know.
Oh, he's gone.
We literally lost him.
I need to jump in anyway. I think Vuck's ready. Vuck, you there?
Do you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you, Vuck. What's your response to Sai?
Yeah, I heard Kairez. I think. What was the question?
The question was that basically you went and won 2022 Most Improved Fighter of the Year, secured a belt very shortly afterwards, and obviously coming into this season now, you went 0-2 and bounced back on 5 fights winning, 5-fight winning streak. What do you feel like the key to success is for yourself? And basically, how have you been able to continue to level up in the face of adversity? You know, kind of going from the Most Improved Fighter, having a difficult start, and then bouncing back. Kind of tell us about basically what is your key to success, brother? Because your key to success, quite clearly, you've had to bounce back from that adversity on a few times, and you obviously have that recipe stashed away in your back pocket to continue to make those adjustments.
I think honestly my key of success is like I learn, I always learn, like if I spar you, I will see what you do good and I will ask you to teach me, I think that's a key.
Yeah.
Like learning.
Vuck, what's your opinion of Ripe?
I think he's great opponent. We was fighting Primetime 2 times, I think. He's 1-1. He's very similar like me. He's like balanced guy who prefer more, I think, grappling. I think he never touched gold. He never touched gold. He always been on top 3, top 5. So I think now he's definitely, motivated to touch that gold. So I think gonna be tough fight, but I think I can beat him.
You seem very self-aware of like your opponent. He's 6-1 at the moment. Ripe, he's on a killing spree. He's done so well. And the winner of this is not... We're talking to you guys now about each other, Ripe versus Vuck, but that's not all that's happening in this card. One of you guys is going to be going on to fight CV for the title in the main event of Primetime 100. One of you guys is going to get to headline the most prestigious event for Primetime. I'll go to Ripe first. Ripe, how do you feel about that? If you beat Vuck, you're going to go and fight CV, essentially. What's your opinion on him?
So CV is an absolute dog. You know, he comes to fight every time. He's undefeated for a reason. He's really good. Like I said, respect to Vuck, but when I beat Vuck, I don't know how it's going to be. But what I do know is that he's going to try and play the pitter-patter game, and I just know how to perfectly counter him. And by the way, we fought 3 times. I beat him 2 times in a row, and then he beat me in our last fight. Not that it matters, though. This is a new fight. Yeah, he's a good minute winner, but back to CV. He's really good, man, and actually he does have a win over me. I remember he knocked me out in the 3rd round, but that was a while ago. I feel like now, especially since my last loss, like I spoke on earlier, I've just made some adjustments to my game, and I'm just very confident that I'm going to get this win, and then face CV for that title shot. And I don't think there's much, Vuck, I don't think he's going to do much to stop me from doing that. So.
And I throw it to Vuck as well. Vuck, similar question. Not just Ripe that you have to worry about here. You're going to be fighting CV if you win. Your opinions?
No, not if I win. That when I win, I think CV is, currently best guy on the world. I think honestly, when I watch him, he's best. But thing about him is always big ping. That's not great. That's not easy. But I think I can beat him. I think he was beat me in prime time. He was take my belt. So I think it's time to revenge. Gonna try, and all respect to CV. I think he's very humble guy, very good guy. So no trash talk to him.
I do have one last one before we chuck it to our resident kind of question or interviewee here this evening, Mr. Lucky. So the last question, and it is to both of you guys. I'm interested because, of course, this is a new ripple to what we do here in PRIMETIME MMA. The fact that you guys are going to be fighting twice in one night is unheard of. We don't do that shit, generally speaking, right? So I want to see. Do you feel? We'll go to you first, Deva. Do you feel that this will actually play in your favor, getting to go out there and fight a top-level opponent? Should you beat Ripe? Do you feel like that is going to allow you to have been warmed up and truly dialed in for the fight, or do you feel like it may be a little bit of extra pressure, and basically that the champion gets to watch you on the night before you get to compete against them? How do you feel about that?
I don't feel pressure about that because CV, like you say, CV gonna watch me, but I have spars with CV. I have fights before with CV. He don't need to watch me. He know me. That's not pressure. That's just extra motivation. If I have big motivation to beat Ripe, and after I beat him, I have big motivation to revenge myself against CV. So I don't feel pressure. I feel like big chance.
I like it, brother. I love the attitude. Same question to you there, Ripe.
No, I don't think I need a warm up. I don't think it's gonna matter really that much. When I do face CV, I just feel like I'm going to be able to show up different this time. I'm going to be very well prepared, and that's the extent of my confidence going into this matchup. So I can't wait, and I like that it's 5 rounds with me and Zuck. It gives me time to download the information, if you will, and just end up facing TV. So I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Lucky, questions, brother.
I do. So the pressure's on. The big prize is there. Headlining PRIMETIME 100 against CV. I know this is going to go down to both of you. What sort of animal are we going to absolutely see against each other? And where, if you do beat each other, obviously Ripe, if you beat Vuck, and Vuck if you beat Ripe, and then you go ahead and beat CV on the most monumental cards of PRIMETIME. What will it do for your legacies at PRIMETIME?
You want to go first?
And then I will go to Ripe.
Yeah, go Ripe first.
Okay, yeah, so I've been, I guess you could say, manifesting this moment. So PRIMETIME 97, I believe, I think it was Mula, knocked him out in the first round. After that, go to MMA, subbed him, made him quit. and who was it? MK Dave after that, and then now I've just kind of been visualizing, you know, this is my moment. It's Primetime 100, the perfect card to get the title shot and win it. What was the second part of that question?
The second part of the question, what will this do with for your legacy in Primetime?
I feel like it'll do a lot. I think it'll make me one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in Primetime thus far. Like I said, I've had a lot of ups and downs in my Primetime career, but after I get these 2 wins on Saturday, respect the CV, respect the luck, but it's going to happen, and there's nothing y'all can do to stop it.
There we go. And second question to Buck.
That's a big strength. I can improve my. I think I have good career in Primetime, but same like right, a lot of ups and downs. But if I win belt on Primetime 100, that's a big, you know, that's the biggest I think event ever. And I have very, you know, I have much wins in Primetime. So if I beat, I think when I beat Ripe and CV, gonna be a big moment for me, and I'm gonna be one of the best PlayStation players I think ever, like top 5.
Love it, brother. Honestly, the attitude from these two
So
guys.
after I get that belt, Smudger, you're next.
I was gonna throw a spanner in the works and ask both guys, what do you think? You got Smudger there as well, boys. Quick, before you go, because this is the last one. We don't have CV's away at the moment. Smudger's in the chat still. What's your opinion? Because potentially you might be fighting Smudger or Shoot next. My question is simply, what's your opinion of Smudger? Vuk, I'll go you first.
I think about Smudger. I think he's a good player, you know, go to PlayStation, but that's just about his skill. I think he's dirty, he's cheeser, I think he's pussy, he's bitch. I think everything bad about him. When he's hard, he always cheese. He cannot play clean when he's hard. He's dirty ass, you know, that's what I think about him.
And so Ripe?
Or about Smudger?
Yeah, just to end it up, because this is gonna help.
Yeah. So Smudger, you know, obviously really good. I just think that, you know, our last 2 fights are not going to be how our next fight is going to go. I think I'm going to pick him apart and probably finish him, but no promises. I might get a boring decision, but I know I'm going to beat him. So.
Wow,
love it, lads.
I have one more question to end it.
Yeah, by the way.
Both men. So Ripe and Vuk, are you ready?
Absolutely, man. I'm ready to get this belt, beat Vuk, So here's my map for like my next 3 fights. After the 3rd fight, you know, you can't tell that far into the future, but I think it's going to be probably finish Vuk. CV, I feel like it's going to be a decision win. It's going to be a good fight, but I think that with his back foot style, he likes to just try to win the minutes just like Buck does. They actually have 2 very similar styles, and I don't think that any of them are going to bring anything that I haven't seen before and that I've been preparing this whole time for. So after that, it's going to be my first title defense, possibly against Shoebox or Smudger, whoever wins that fight. But I'll leave that to the matchmakers. But yeah, let's get it.
Buck,
I think I'm ready, definitely, but I have all week to prepare for Ripe, but I'm ready because I was thinking Primetime is today, you know. I was prepared for today.
You like coming to the press conference fighting?
I was thinking we're gonna fight today, but yeah, I will do like next week a lot. I will analyze him. I will see his weaknesses, and I think he's great BJJ guy. I see that against Goat, but I think me and Goat are not similar players. I think I can control him on the ground. Yeah, I think I can beat him.
Lovely.
That for me, Cyrus, concludes the press conference for PT 100. The amount of fights we have tonight. Thank you so much to Ripe, Smudger, Vuk, everybody who came in right there. Cyrus, what a preference was. Doctor, what a press conference was. Lucky as well. I'm gonna throw it to Cyrus straight because that was an insane sort of event right there.
Yeah, 100%, brother. The press conference, first that we have ever done, most certainly will not be the last. This was a fun old experience for something that we expect to last 30 minutes. We've been running on almost 3 goddamn hours, and I can tell you that I love every single second of it. It was great to hear from all of the fighters. We appreciate each and every one of you stepping up to the mark, talking your trash, and keeping it clean, other than that little pigeon that's getting put in a pie. This is it has been an incredible night there, lads. Once again, thank you to Humble, Doc, Lucky, all of the competitors that have stepped up to the plate here this evening. We will be back now Saturday, 8:30 GMT, 3:30 Eastern, for what is truly the most historic card in Primetime's history. One of the biggest cards in this space period. It will be war from the opening bell to the last one. So make sure to tune in live on Twitch or on YouTube. And keep an eye out for these little promos and highlight packages coming your goddamn way. Because I tell you what, we are stepping up the levels every single time, every single event. And we appreciate each and every one of you being part of that process. So stay safe, much love, and tune in next week for what is set to be the biggest card in this promotion's history.